Hello and welcome everyone, it's your boy Logic and we're back with another live stream. Now I know it's been a while and I hope you're all doing very well. We have Grombriddle, how you doing buddy? We also have Mr. Blackthorn and CJ, I hope you're all doing very well today. I hope you're all enjoying the event that has happened and we're going to be getting into the semi-finals here. So it looks like we have Void up against Tank, both VM brothers here going up on Oak and Hammer with it looks like Lisbon and also Chaos. Let's hop into it. G'day, how are we? How are we? How are we doing? Mr. Blackthorn, quack quack indeed, my friend. Quack quack indeed. Now, apologies that I've been away for so long. I have had some things that I had to deal with. I had some events that I had to go to as well. Lots of big things, lots of big discussions, and lots of meetings coming forward here on the channel. And lots of big content. So, yeah, really excited for that. So I have lots of awesome live streams and just honestly, some awesome content coming forward. One piece of content I believe is probably going to take me a month to prepare, make, and organize. But it should be awesome when it's done. We also have another ginormous event as well. That should take at least 2 weeks to organize. So yeah, lots of good things. Hey, will you watch the replays? The replays from today? Hello chat, hello Logic, hello Mr. Full Poland. How are you doing? Just so I can pronounce your name. Moritz. Sorry. Eyesight is getting worse, I swear. So, for those that can't see my setup, so I've got the main screen in front of me. Like this is you guys, hello. And then on my right, at a weird angle, I've got my other monitor, so I can't like see your name sometimes. The reflection from the light is really weird, so I can't like see names. And like for most of you, I know you by picture, rather than being able to see your name. If people send me the replays, then yes, I will watch all of them. If people send them, I will cast them. If they don't, then I won't. It's as simple as that. But yeah, if anybody wants to send in any of the replays from today and wants me to cast them, then of course I will cast them. Oh, by the way, another stream coming forward this Sunday. We have quite the awesome stream indeed, so we'll hopefully hop onto that. I've got the wrong camera on. Option. Controls. Can I see camera? I don't know how to change this in here. I don't know how to change it in here. That quite bothers me. Hey, it fixed it. Nice. Alright, that won't stay, but we'll have to just reset afterwards. So we can have the normal camera. I like that. Okay, so we're going to be here on the map. It looks like we have Oxyotto. I can see that already. He's going to be having the golden blowpipe of P2. Or Patui. As well as the Master Predator. And it looks like we're going to have Slippery as well. So I'm also finish off with Elizabeth whilst we're here. We're going to be having some lovely Cold War Knights here. Armor Piercing Shock Cavalry. 2 units of the Skin Cohort Javelins on the right. We're going to have lots of Saurus Warriors with shields as well. Very tanky boys here in the middle. Some more Javos. Make that 5 units of those bad boys. 5 units arranged in the middle. So that's going to be 10 already. Plus 11 with Exotals. We do have to be careful here. Making sure we're not getting too many. We're going to go 11 with 2 units of Cold War Shock Cavalry Armor Piercing. And it looks like in the back we are going to have the Skin Priest of Heavens. This bad boy today, he will be having Urian Thunderbolt to take out all units of artillery and also Wind Blast. So yeah, very interesting indeed. Quite a tanky front line, lots of Javos, lots of range, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see the poke that is going to come forward here. So from the Chaos, we're going to be having some Chaos Marauders, 5 units in the front. We're also going to be mixing it here with some heavily armoured Chaos Chariots. 110 armour, anti-infantry. Very good here indeed. Looks like we're going to have 4 units of those. And in the back, we're going to have some Marauder Horsemen throwing axes, Marauder Horse Masters, and some more throwing axes. Flying high in the sky, the double Chaos Ferromantical is very good there with that Terror. And on the floor here, we are going to have the very heavily armoured Exalted Heroes. They're going to be on horseback. 78 speed, not too bad. They're going to be a little bit faster here than the South of the Ever Watcher, but he will be having Stand or Die, the Arcane Conduit, the Final Transmutation, the Plague of Rust, and Metal Shifting. So I hope you're all doing very well today, guys. I hope you're really looking forward here to this event. If you are, please feel free to smash that like button if you're enjoying all of the stuff coming forward. Also, feel free to subscribe as well if you haven't. That would certainly help here going through the live stream. Really help me grow there, and I have quite the surprise if I get there to 500 subscribers. There'll be quite the announcement. I call it the pipe of pew pew. Pew pew. Right. Gotta have fun from both sides. I like that. And also we're going to be getting some of the chameleon skinks in the front. They are going to be shooting here. And just trying to see if we can get some poison to slow down some of these chariots. Not all the entities coming forward. I just need to double check. We have 5 single entities. That's absolutely fine. And then we have 11 units of range. It's going to be very difficult. We have lots of chaos chariots. We have all sorts of things as well. Now those javelins aren't going to do much up against the armoured chaos chariots. So sending those bad boys forward is really nice. They're certainly going to absorb a lot of that range. And they have been poisoned there. I love the poison dial at the bottom so I can see what has and what hasn't been poisoned. Before you had to see the red stats there and then the fact that they were slower than their base. But now you can actually see what has and what hasn't been poisoned. Now the Chaos Marauders, this is where you really want to get your javelins in. Get your javelins up against the Chaos Marauders, really start removing some of those infantry units. The fact that, no! Over here, no, we've got the Chameleon boys. They've been caught, but we do have the armor-piercing shock Cold One Riders. They should really come through and do some good damage, but we're going to lose some of those skinky boys. Such a shame. And it's like here, the Master Predator has been caught in the middle here by some of these Chaos Chariots. He's going to get moved back, and we do have some armor-piercing Cold One Knights here to nice counter-charge as well. These bad boys, this is a very interesting way of playing. This is sort of a similar way that you can play as the Empire here up against Chaos as well. Now in the front, we're going to use most of the javelins here for the skink cohorts. They're going to be firing in. Look at the damage there from those javos. Those javos can really, really slam up against these Chaos Marauders. Looks like Chameleon Skinks are going to get caught as well. Could certainly get some of those javelins in to see if we can blockade and cause some barriers there between that nice skirmish cavalry unit. I shouldn't really call them carrier, the skirmish infantry unit. But yeah, also the Chaos Chariots have managed to catch only 48 speed for the Chameleon Skinks, so they're going to really struggle here. We have 67 when poisoned here for the chariots, and they'll certainly be able to keep up and do some damage over time. Looks like here we are going to have a fun transmutation. It's going to be overcasted as well, catching in the Skink Priest of Heavens, doing some really nice damage here. That's why I'm not too sure this, the Heavens is so useful at the moment. I think taking Flock of Doom is far more powerful. Shots are going to come in for the Skink Cohort Javelins as they do fire here. It looks like into the Exalted Heroes, but they have 100 armor, so they're not going to do too much damage there. So it looks like over here on the back right, we're going to be chasing up against a single unit of the Cold One Knights. The Cold One Knights are really trying to do some good damage up against the Chaos Chariots, but as you can see, we have throwing axes from Lord Horsemasters, all coming in to really try and see if they can just remove these nice armor-piercing cavalry. In the front, we have Shattered with some Chaos Marauders. And as like here in the pocket though, we are going to be having this is just a lot. So the double Manticores, double Exalted Heroes, and also Starthrower are just going to be absolutely removing poor Exotle here. He has no protection whatsoever. There's going to be no like Curse the Midnight Wind, nothing like that coming in here. So it's just nothing to protect him, unfortunately. Yeah, this is a really nice build here coming in from Void, and it's very difficult to deal with. It's certainly not what I would have expected anyway, but big hits coming in up against Exotle down to 500 HP. Killing him would probably end the game immediately. The rest is going to be sat here in a blobber. Final transportation on this would cause the end of the game immediately. I don't know what sort of mana here, though. We're talking from Sathriel. So 511 still. He is going to be getting away just about, but he won't. He will be escorted. That's for sure. We have broken some Chameleon Skinks in the map. We do have some online though. Looks like we're going to have 31 models here with the Skink Cohort Javelins that haven't used a single Javelin yet. I'm very surprised about that. We're going to be having some more Chameleon Skinks. They haven't even used up to half their ammunition yet, which is the problem here. It's a very good push and micro build here coming in from Void. He's very good with his micro. You make one small little mistake against this guy and he just punishes you. He punishes you hard as well. There's like no getting away from how hard he punishes you. Like he'll punish you so hard you don't even know you got punished. But yeah, some good cycle charging here in the pocket with the Chaos Chariots. I'm just going to be moving through this absolute mass of just chameleons and skinks. So they're going to push over here, trying to see if they get some of the Marauder Horsemasters, trying to get some of the lightly armoured skirmish cavalry here with the throwing axes. Chaos Flare Manticore is just going to be causing terror absolutely everywhere as well. Balance of Power is just tipping now. It's on the knife edge, and it has gone. I think it is going to be a pull out there from Mr. Tank. Really well played here. I really love this build from Void. Well, let's see, 570 here from Exotel, 112, 120, 320, 230, and 230 here for the Comedian Skinks. Yeah, not really anywhere near their sort of price pool, unfortunately, but still not too bad there, not too bad. 218, 520, 200, 477. Couple of Knights also struggling. I'm a little bit surprised about the Skink Push the Beasts. Urine's Thunderbolt, its only real use potentially could be against, say, artillery. Artillery is like the only thing I can see it being useful against, and I don't really see him bringing artillery in this matchup. We have 53, 280, 311, 230, and 310 for the Skink Cohort Javelins. So the Javelins perform the same as the Community Skinks, but they go at two-thirds cost. 530 and 335 here for the Saurus Warriors. Now, the great thing about this build, it was really good at dealing with Kite, and it was also really good here at dealing with monsters. We had lots of armor piercing here for the Mortal Horsemasters, 2 Ferromanticores that can focus, and also 2 Exalted Heroes with Safra with a Fine Transportation and a nice Plague of Rust. So overcast that negative 60 armor. Yeah, it's a very good build here indeed. It is a very good, well thought out build. 1,470 here for Safriel, with 35 and 210 for the Exalted Heroes. 130, 280... 144, 280 and 300 here for the front line of Cheap Marauders. We've got 730 and 800 here for the Chaos Chariots, with 300 and 1001 for the double Chevron. We've got 280, 350 here from the Throwing Axes, and 417 from the Marauder Horse Masters. 1400 and 250 though from the Chaos Feral Manticores. Yeah, very nice indeed. I like it. I like it. Yeah, I'm getting close to that 500, my friend. I'm getting close to that 500. So the second map here is going to be the Bloodpine Woods. I like this map quite a lot. The woods on here are very nice indeed. I'm sure these two are in chat talking to each other. Dog, how we doing, Mr. Buddy? How we doing, friend? I saw this build from Lunacy 100% of the time. Oh, what, from Chaos? Or the Kite? Oh, from Chaos, yeah. Yeah, no, fantastic stuff. Like, I really enjoyed that build from Void. It was a really smart build. It was really well applied as well. You need to have the micro to use it as well, right? So, it was lovely to see that he played it very well. So looks like the talking is going to be going on in the VM chat, so we'll just let these guys work out what the hell they want to do, and then we'll go from there. So it's going to be 1-0 here to Void. Let's update those scoreboards. Where's Void? Void is number 2. There we go. So 1-0 here to Void, and it's going to be a best of 3 here in the semi-finals. So it should be pretty interesting to see how this goes forward. So it looks like Tank is more than likely going to be going Vampire Counts. He's a very good Vampire Count and Chaos player. Yeah, I think he's very good at those two. He's a pretty good Dowie player as well, I must admit. Very good stuff. Let's have a look. I think maybe Tank tried to outmind the build of Void. Yeah, I think Void is a very good aggressive player. He is a very good aggressive player. I think it was quite thematic. Oxothel chasing off demons. Indeed. Bathing in the blood of his enemies. So not too sure what's going on here, but looks like, well, Bloodpine Woods. Let's go through Bloodpine Woods then. So on the right-hand side here, as you can see on the picture, we have like quite a big arc here of trees, and that's really nice. And we have quite the open field on the left-hand side. There's a small hill in the middle. You can see there's a rock there. That's a nice hill. That little white area just shows raised ground. So the darker the color here means the lower the ground is, and the closer to white it is, the higher it is. So you can see in this top left-hand corner, it's going to be quite nice and high. And then here in the middle, it's going to be a little bit high as well, and the raised ground here in the trees as well. So you have quite this something a bit like a river arc really, but there's sort of a nice depth down below there that you do have to be careful about if you do want to bring some sort of range factions here, and they can certainly affect artillery. They're going to certainly affect all sorts of foot infantry range. So these are elements you need to take into consideration when you are thinking about map application, what sort of builds you do want to bring. As you can see here between the two of them, it looks like it could be Dark Elves up against Vampire Counts. Now in general, Vampire Counts just struggle with Elves, period. Just period, they struggle with Elves. If you're going to go Vampire Counts on your Vampire Count main, 2 bands, very, very easy. Wood Elves, High Elves. Just your straight bands. They're just your straight bands. Now, I tell you what, let me ask you guys questions. I'm going to just fire out a little document to you guys. A little poll. Alright, so there's a little question there for you guys. So this was a video that was requested from me. So somebody did ask for a video regarding faction banning. So for example, if you go with Vampire Counts, as I just said, you would generally ban Wood Elves and High Elves. They're your 2 main bans. There's a couple of reasons why you would do that. They have entities that they certainly struggle with here. Obviously, when you come with the Vampire Counts, they don't have any range. They struggle to deal with mass skirmish. So you know, is this a video that you would like to see? Or would you prefer, just say no if you would prefer to see some of my other stuff, you know, the stuff that I normally do, just casting battles, etc. I'd be very interested to see I'm a little bit confused as to what's going on. Oh, looks like they're ready. So it looks like it is going to be Vampire Counts against Dark Elves then. Ah, now I thought you might say that, Mr. Muckluck. Hello, Mr. Caradoc. How are you? You beat the big man himself. You beat the ODM legend, Sophia. How did your game go? Tell me all about it. And if you better share that game with me, Mr. Caradoc. You better share that game. I want to cast it. I want to cast it. Okay, my battery's low on my phone. Tomorrow my computer will be back from service, so have fun, games, and enjoy the stream. Thank you very much, Mr. For Poland. I'm looking very forward to having you back here on the competitive scene. Oh, looks like 10 of you have voted, and 13 have voted, and looks like by the way, just so you know, if you are brand new here on the channel, welcome, how you doing? If you are brand new here on the channel, when you do vote here, I can't see who votes. All I can see is 86% said yes, and 14% of you said no. So, for example, if this wins, then I'll obviously do it, and if it doesn't win, I'll ask you, what would you prefer instead? Would you prefer for me to do just a normal battle? Would you prefer for me to do some other content in general? Caradoc, you are a legend, my friend. You are a legend. Tell me all about Sir Caradoc. Speak there in chat. You tell me what happened during that game. I want to hear. I want to hear. Fantastic. I'll go through them. Yeah, I'll go through each faction, then we'll go through, maybe have, so let's say, sorry, something in my eye here. So we've got 15 factions, of course. If I spent 2 minutes on each faction, we're talking about a 30-minute video. So, you know, I might have to go away and make some preparations for it, but yeah, this is a video I can happily make for you guys. I did not do that, so let's go on to controls. Perfect. Okay, well, that's a really easy way to fix it. I'll just do that each time then, so that... Or maybe I'll switch in between. When we switch between to the next semi-finals, I'll switch the camera. For those that are wondering what I'm doing there, I play on the debugged camera, which allows me to essentially... So as you can see here, I'm restricted. I can only go to certain lengths. So over here, you'll see there's the white line here somewhere. But I can't go too far away. I can't like leave the battlefield. While the debug camera allows me to go as high as I want, as low as I want. I can even go through the floor if I want. Just so that I can get a full army overlook. So it's like, yeah, it looks like a lot of you guys out of the 18 votes, it's like 83% of you are interested in that sort of video. So, yeah, okay. Okie dokie. So, from the fantastic Dark Elves, we're going to be having some Elite Guard, the Black Guard of Nagarond. How many have we got here? Looks like we've got 2 Black Guards of Nagarond. Make that 3 Black Guards of Nagarond. I believe that's the maximum you can take. Some Black Guard Corsair Hambos. So, all the Blades of the Blood Queen Executioners. Look at these fantastic models here. With Guardian Frenzy, all the excellent stats as well. 48 melee attack, completing their anti-infantry, and they're also armor piercing. Okay, we are going to have some Witch Elves, some Dread Spears, some more Dread Spears, and it looks like we are going to have Marathi on foot. So Marathi on foot with the Wand, as well as Soul Stealer, Heart Render and the Dark Sword, Enchanting Beauty, Greater Arcane Conduit, and the Life Leeching. So we are going to have 2 Catholite Assassins as well. And let's see, so it's like Assassin's Trophy, Black Lotus, and Web of Shadows. And the same on this side. Black Lotus is a bit of an interesting choice. Obviously here, will only make them crumble faster. So let's have a look here in the front line. So, massively wide here. Yeah, 1.3 up against 700. So we are going to have some skeletons in the front line. Lots of skeletons to get shot here. We're going to have some more zombies, and it looks like we are going to have the double White King. So White King here, both with Scab Scraith, more than likely. Yes, both with Scab Scraith there. We're going to go very wide with Skeleton Warriors. In the back, we are going to have some Graveguard, great weapons, good anti-infantry. Oh, we have the ROR Stalkers as well. So the skeletons here with added armor and poison. And we are going to have some more Graveguard, great weapons in the sky. Some Vargeist, 2 units here, the armor-piercing models. Very good indeed in the front line. Looks like we're going to have 2 more as well. That's very heavy on the flying units. I believe that's 5 flying units. Yeah, that makes sense. You can have 5 flying units, yeah. Don't know what I'm talking about. Right, so Heart Piercing, Helm of Discord, Raise the Dead, Dance Macabre, Invocation of Nehek with the Pestilence Breath, and all the other great things from the Blood Dragon Vampire Lords. Excellent stuff. Now it's going to be nice and open in the open here once they get some nice free shots in. No skirmish cavalry though, so 92 speed there from the Dark Rider repeated crossbows. Good armor piercing as well is something that can be quite handy here, especially when it comes up to kiting up against Vargeists. Now, they do have 92 speed, so they can catch them, because they can't fire whilst moving, but yes. Those Blades of the Blood Queen are so goddamn sexy. Look at these things. They are so goddamn awesome. Look at those capes as well, man. Look at those capes. They are just so goddamn awesome. There are some excellent units here in the game as well. I might even do a video of the top 5 best looking models and units in the game, like 5 top best single entities, and then the 5 best units or something like that. That'd be really cool. So Skeleton Warriors have been summoned in the middle here up against the Catholite Assassin. Now he does have an 800 poison missile strength as well, only 70 range, but if you do come in that range and get poisoned and shot, you are certainly going to feel it. If you talk about a Master Engineer and that right, it's going to have over double. Oh, a fantastic Scab Scraith going down up against the Dread Spears. Look at the damage done by half there. Excellent stuff there coming out of Void. Void is very, very... Oh, no, sorry, it's Tank. Sorry. I'm so used to Void playing Vampire accounts. But both of these guys in their own rights are excellent VC players. They're just very good VC players. Probably some of the best in the game as well, actually. So nice shots here coming from the Black Heart Corsair Hambos. They're going to be shooting up against the Vargeists in the sky. Now, Vargeists have lots of armor piercing, 110. They are going to fly in, try and get the damage, and get out. Can they get out? I don't know. I think they're going to get caught here. They are going to get hit hard by the Black Guard of Nagaron. So for those that don't know what Black Guard look like, they are fantastic there with those halberds, the lovely black gold trimmed capes. They just look awesome. Just look so awesome. Another Scab Scrape in the back. Looks like we are going to... Oh, lovely there. We do actually catch the Black Ark Corsair Hambos and still go through the Dread Spears as well. So double value there. Scab Scrapes ahoy coming out from the White Kings. So flying high in the sky, get some shots here up against the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. You're not really too concerned. You don't want to stick around for too long, of course. Oh, what's that in the middle? Is that going to be a That's going to be a zombie summon there. That is going to entrap the Black Ark Corsairs, get them to fight in melee combat, as well as the Cataphrite Assassins. Assassins are going to move in to try and help the Dread Spears fight against some more zombies. That's really just going to wither them down as well and just sort of really bring down that vigor to the very tired, if not exhausted state before they even engage in the front line. Lovely breath attack here coming up against the Dread Spears. Excellent stuff. So moving where the Skeleton Warriors are going to be pulling out here just a little bit. Looks like the Blades of the Blood Queen Executioners, anti-infantry armor piercing, going to be fighting up against the Graveguard and Great Weapons. Now they are the same good armor, anti-infantry armor piercing as well, but they will certainly lose against the Blades of the Blood Queen. They will do tremendously well in this matchup, these Blades. 100 armor, 58 melee attack. They're just so goddamn good. And if you do have the lovely lady herself, Marathi, over here as well, that's a -20 to melee attack, -10 melee defense, and negative charge as well. So you have to be seriously careful. Looks like here we have popped the ability here, which I believe, I can't remember now. Murderous Prowess has been popped. So as you can see here, as they are going to move forward here, Murderous Prowess has quite a few tasty stats, 25% melee attack, 25% charge, armor piercing, leadership, and figure bonuses. Now that's very good for melee infantry indeed, and some good range armor piercing as well. So there, as you can see, going to be running away a little bit here is the Vampire Count. I think they're going to try and waste the majority of the Murderous Prowess. So once it's popped, and the player can't decide, once it's popped, it's done, and you can't use it a second time. It goes off when a certain amount of kills has happened throughout the game, and it basically can't come back. Another Scab Scrape here, which is going to be catching up against the Cataphrite Assassins and Witch Elves as well. Witch Elves pretty good in this matchup, as there's no range here from the Vampire Count, so their low armor really can't be affected too much. I think a White Sister build here, or a Bikini build as I call it, the Bikini build can do quite well. You know, just got loads of Witch Elves, go the Sisters to Singing Doom. You can do pretty nicely there, because they just can't get shot. It's just ladies on Rampage there that give negative melee defense and poison and all the gorgeous things that you love to see. So shots here coming into the zombies in the back. The zombies are going to go down there, so they're getting rid of that cheap infantry at the moment. And you're going to start running out of it here. So as you can see, the Vampire Counts are going to start running out. Balance of power is going to be slightly in the favour of Void and the Dark Elves. Not massively, which is quite surprising to me. Quite a lot of their infantry has been battered here. Especially Blackguard and Aggron. These elite units have certainly taken a punching. Another zombie summon. Oh, is that a skeleton summon? So that's a skeleton summon. So that's an overcasted zombie summon, essentially. So another Scab Scrape coming through the Blackguard and also really hitting the Witch Elves. The Witch Elves here are going to be down to 1,200 HP, 37 models here. But I think there's only going to be 2 Scab Scrapes left. And sitting in this really long line as they are, that's really painful. The reason that is the fact that they can go straight down this line and really get a fantastic spell through there. Bit of lag here, guys. I do apologise. Not too sure why there's so much lag going through here. Whilst we're waiting, Mr. Hank Cyrus, how we doing, buddy? Oh, let's see what's being said. Right, okay, just we're back into it. So it's like, I think the 1, 2, 3 there was just testing for Void to see if the connection's good. So it's like the connection is going to be going well there. Looks like we're back into the game. We are going to be seeing some Skeleton Warriors here just fighting up. They're going to die pretty much. Okay, so looks like we have some Skeleton Warriors ready. The boys here with the weird animations, they're going to be walking forward, but I think we're going to be losing one of the Scab Scrapes in the back if we're not careful. Could do with a couple of invocations over here. A lot of that balance power is going to be that the White King there's pretty damaged. Most of the Cataphrite Assassins and Marathi are going to be very healthy over here. So on balance of power for single entity models, they generally hold a lot of balance of power, especially heroes and lords, especially with all those leadership buffs as well. Yeah, Cataphrite Assassin, I mean, look at that, it comes with loads. Immune to psychology, comes with encourage, all the great things as well, so. Skeleton Warriors here fighting up against the Blackguard of Nagorond. Breath attack. Oh no! Ah, that was, I watched that. That was painful. Black God of Nagron got absolutely splashed there by the second breath attack in from the Blood Dragon Vampire. Excellent stuff there from Mr. Tank. Healing going down here. Look at that triple heal. Balance of power, considering how low the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord did as well, that is exceptional. The balance of power is even. So shots are going to be coming through to the front. Ah, that breath attack was so gorgeous. So here in the middle, we are going to have some zombies. Have this effect going on, and that must be just Marathi's effect there going down with the negative melee attack, negative melee defense. Looks like the blades of the Blood Queen going to be at the front, waiting for the onslaught that is coming. And looks like they're going to be maneuvering over into this direction. Get rid of the zombies, get rid of all that cheap chaff. And actually, the more zombies they do summon, the less healing that is going to go down here for the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. Now, what can the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord do here? Now, what he can do is try and find some... maybe try and see if he can pop onto the Black Hawk Corsairs. He actually does have hunger, so when he's fighting in melee combat, he can heal and restore up to 4 hit points per second. So as long as he's not taking more damage than he is healing, he's obviously going to be benefiting from that engagement. And also, he'll be doing damage over time as well. But he's going to be only shot here in the sky. Really getting hit here by the Hambos as well. But the Hambos are running out of ammunition. We have one here with some, and the other is just about to run out. One left there with 9 left on the second unit. Zombies in the middle, though, are really going to wither down these Black Hawk Corsairs. They are winded already, and they really haven't fought too much so far. Vargeist really coming in with the cycle charges here up against the Black Guard of Nagarond. And it'd be nice to see them come around the back and see if they can get the cycle charge from the rear, rather than taking them on from the front, because of course they're going to be basically getting straight into those halberds. Halberds are going to be braced. They're going to hit pretty hard on impact, which means you're not going to get that full cycle charge animation, get the hit in, and then be able to get out for free, because they're pretty slow on the animations there with the halberds. Nice hit here with the Vargeist in the pocket. It looks like we did actually get a Web of Shadows down, which is going to slow them by 25%. Shots are going to be going into the Vargeists as well. And as the Hambos have run out of ammunition, that's pretty much most of their balance of power and value gone now. So obviously, as long as they traded effectively, which looks like, yeah, they got 70 kills, so they more than likely traded fairly effectively. And that's obviously the only shot into zombies and skeletons. So still fighting in the middle, exhausted here, going to do Half-Light Assassins. That will just remove all sorts of stats, like, you know, for example, attacks per second, and therefore damage output per minute. All these sort of things will just get reduced over time. But still going to be fighting pretty strong, and even if they are going to be exhausted, you do have Marathi with all of her debuffs and buffs. So, yeah, you should do pretty well still in the middle here. Zombies are going to have 0 melee defense. 0 melee attack and 6 melee defense. So they're not going to hit anything. They're just going to exhaust. Oh no, that's another gorgeous scab scrape there in the middle, up against the Black Hawk Corsairs. I mean, Tank has really shown some fantastic breath attacks, scab scrapes, just really putting on a fantastic show of what the VC are really capable of here. I think for me, they're still a very strong B tier faction. I think they're very good here in the meta, and they certainly have a lot to offer here for the Warhammer community. And here we go, the anti-large armor-piercing Black Guard of Nagron. They're just going to be pushing here. That was a nice charge from the Vargeist. A few of them are going to go down. They were struggling to get back into the sky here, some of these. Maybe because of the trees, etc. Not really too sure there. But it looks like we do have the healing cap coming in for the Blood Dragon Vampire. Looks like we do have Assassin's Trophy. That is going to stop him from pushing in. That'll be a negative 24 melee attack, a negative 24 melee defense. That will put him off here a little bit when you do have that on top of Marathi. So Marathi will give that negative 20 melee attack as well. So that'll be negative 44 melee attack. That's just huge here in the middle. Now it looks like here we are going to have a Web of Shadows going down for that slow as well. And, oh no, it's going to be a Soul Stealer, I think. Yes, it's going to be a Soul Stealer. And as we know here, AoE are bunked just a little bit, so even if they were starting to leave that circle there, they more than likely got caught. Yes, so lots of damage here going down. Oh, truckloads of damage on the Vargeist as they do go into negative leadership as well. So they're certainly going to be going down here as there's going to be no invocation probably left to heal them. Shots in the sky, as we do see the Blood Dragon Vampire really trying to go back and forward here, trying to juke all of those shots, waste all of the ammunition here for the last unit of the Half-Light Assassins and the Black Hawk Corsairs. Looks like we have 7 Vargeists and 9 here, so we have 18 plus an extra 12, so a full unit here. So we're going to be having 30 Vargeists left. That's 110 armor piercing, weapon strength, and you've got to times that by 30. So you're looking at quite a large output of damage here still from the flying units. And of course you've got the big bad boy himself. Is that Web of Shadows? I imagine that probably is Web of Shadows. Need to find something with it on. Yeah, Web of Shadows. Negative speed there, so as you can see, we will be moving in with the White King. But he could be very close to getting sniped in. Now, coming in the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. Now, this is really risky. But it does hit Marathi, so that's really nice. Helmet Discord going down. So that's the negative 24 melee defense, negative 24 melee attack, and he does need to be able to get out. Web of Shadows does go down. Assassin's Trophy, heart piercing as well. You have to be seriously careful here. Looks like the key is going to get out. He's going to be negative leadership, negative 11 here. Manpower going out of their favor as well. Negative 9 with him in the air. He seriously needs some healing or he is going to die here very, very quickly. Oh, the wand's going to come down. Fantastic. Where's the wand? Oh, looks like the wand got cancelled. Oh no, the wand is back on now. But I don't know if the wand is worth it. Yeah, I think the wand's going to be a bit of a waste here because the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord has gone down, which means it will be the end here. There is nothing that can save that. The wand might do some good damage here up against the Vargeist as well. It looks like here supporting is going to be the Blackout Corsair. Looks like we have Black Lotus around us. It's going to be negative 16 leadership as well. Really helping to remove and also just help imbue that crumbling here from the undead. So as we can see in the middle, we are going to have the very, very nice ROR. The Blades of the Blood Queen fighting here. The anti-large armor-piercing Blackguard of Naggarond. The Hambos as well. Really getting in up against these zombies. Giving those negative stats as well. And that's just what makes Morathi so strong here in this current multiplayer play. Fantastic. So lots of damage coming here in the pocket. If we can kill Morathi, this is a possibility for a turnaround. I just don't know if we can kill Morathi. We need to cycle charge her as much as possible. That's a fantastic soul stealer if that is one. Yeah, so, oh my god, it catches all of them? Okay, it looks like it catches all of them there. God damn, that's broken. Right, so it catches all of them. That's going to do a tremendous amount of damage as well. That will be negative leadership. That will actually kill the game. And a fantastic one it was. Excellent here between these two legends. So you're going to be 2-0 here for Void. And a fantastic set of 3 between these two. And our first victor here to go through to the final. Excellent stuff. So, Morathi, 2,180 here. Very good from her. With 2,500 and 2,544 from the Catholite Assassins. That's 5k damage by them. And also 2.2 there. So we can attribute 7,200 damage value from these 3 entities. Very nice. 37, 108 from the Dread Spears. With 120 from the Witch Elves, 1001, 600, and 1100 from the Blackguard of Naggarond with 262 kills, 1700 for the Blades of the Blood Queen with 1077, and 1000 here for the Blackheart Corsair Hambos. Excellent build here from Void yet again. He's a man that really comes through with these tremendous builds. If you really want to learn here, this is the guy to do it from. So as we can see from the Blood of Dragon Vampire Lord, 2,250 from him with 933 and 509 here from the White Kings. I mean, I can't lie, I have to go back. 2,500, 5k for 2 assassins. I have never seen that sort of value. That is so good. As we can see for the zombies, really not much in the front. 91 there, 82 as well. 270, 220, 200 and 170. With 440 from the RRR Skeleton Warriors, 470 and 530 here from the Graveguard Great Weapons, 461, 440, 380 and 680 from the Vargeists. Very good indeed. Right, so it looks like we're seeing Void in the final. So we need to be getting in the big Caradoc. So Caradoc here wiping out one of the favourites of the tournament. So excellent stuff from him. So where are we? Let's get him in. Mr. Caradoc. And then of course we have the big bearded man himself. So we are going to be having the awesome man that is Grombrindle. So for those that don't know Grombrindle, he's actually going to be part of the, or actually one of the runners of the Son of the Mountains. One of the awesome clans here in the Warhammer scene as well. Now I'm either blind or stupid, or both. Probably both. There he is. Ah, Mr. Chad Thorgrim. Welcome, Grombrindle. Let's have a look. More mod does dice the Soul Sealer plus top? Yeah, I could agree with you, Tang. It's the AoEs are bugged. I did say it during the game. Like, I would say you're a good 10 to 15 meters out of the 40-meter radius, and you still got caught, which was a bit sad. Those assassin's webs generate an insane value. Yeah, I can imagine they do. Yeah, I did say during. I thought the dive was a bit bold, but at the same time, I know why you did it. Like, you needed to kill Marathi. Uh, that that build lives and dies with Marathi. So let's get this sorted here. Let's get the guys in. So we're going to be going down to 0 there, and let's work it in with Caradoc and Grombrindle. Oh. Fantastic. So these two are ready. Let's get the map set. We're going to be on Oak and Hammer. Let's get into it. Alright, looks like we end the poll here then. So it looks like we have, yes, you guys would like it. Okay, fantastic. Then I'll work on that video in the future. I'll get that nice and ready for you guys. Fantastic. Okay, so I've asked you guys another question of what you'd like as well. There's a little bit more content here on the channel. This is a great time for me as well, and a great time for you guys to ask me about some of the stuff that could come forward on the channel. Because also I get to interact with you guys more. Like I kind of missed not streaming as much as I have been. But the question I'm going to be asking you guys is, would you all like a competitive league? So at the moment we have what's called the Short Bid League, which is for brand new players. It's a league that I organise. It's run a little bit like the WWC. It's run by myself. And what I do is I collect all of the gameplays. I'll either cast them individually, or I'll summate some battles. So for example, I have 4 different leagues there. And what happens within these leagues is people progress, and they... So with the 4 different leagues, at the bottom, you can progress all the way up to the top. So if you win that league, you go up to the next one, and you keep going forward, and you can try and challenge yourselves. And then once you've won the top league, which is the Peak Gate Guard, you then basically finish. You're then out of what we call the new player tournaments. You then back into doing what everybody else does, and you're playing with the higher level players. You know, it's a safe place for new players to come in, test out some things, play some people probably at a roughly similar level. But what I was thinking of is, here's the thing as well. If you do say maybe and you feel confident to, please feel free to say why it's maybe down below. Why are you saying maybe? Why not definitely yes or definitely no? Like, if you're saying maybe, I'm assuming you're interested, but what is it about it that interests you, and what questions do you have? But I'd like to do a league where we can have a 4-tier system, where basically you can try and work your way up through the leagues, essentially, as it were. So the current state of things, the way we're running it here in the Shortbeard League, is that we have, at the moment, we have 5 players in each league. They play best of 3s against everyone else. So they'll play 4 games of best of 3s, and they get a point there for each win. So if it goes 2-1, the winner of the 2 games gets 2 points, and the loser gets 1. Or if it's 2-0, then it gets 2 points and 0 points. And then what it does, I put a table up, everybody plays everybody, and yeah. Then at the end, we add all those points up and we see who the winner is. And then what I could do is offer at the top, we could offer some sort of prize or something. Yeah, I like the Shortbeard League has been full of some friendly, brand new faces. It's been really nice. I could agree with Mr. Down Under Blunder, for sure. And the other 2 options I've given you is no more tournaments. Would you rather not have leagues? Because what leagues might do is distract a little bit from tournaments. Because if people have got to play league games, there's not going to be as many people that are available to play tournaments. So, you know, that might detract from that. Or you can just say no in general. No, we're not interested in leagues. I'd rather have more video content, more other content from you. For example, like the last question, like, would you like me to do content such as what factions for example, if you're the Dowie, what 2 main factions should you ban during tournaments, these sort of things as well. So Mr. Flex Prime, how are we? Oh, Mr. Flex Prime, please send me a message. I have an offer for you, my friend. I have an offer for you, specifically for you, for you. Alrighty. So yeah, feel free to answer honestly, and Chad Thorick is Mr. Grombrindle indeed, the man, the myth, the son of the mountains legend. And we're going to be up against Mr. VM Caradoc. I'll go into my controls, into my cameras, flip around a bit, and there we go. Right, let's get that sorted after this best of 3. So yeah, feel free to answer that. It's a lot of you guys are saying maybe. So that would suggest to me that you could be up for it, but you're not sure. So maybe I'll have to ask some more questions in the next one. So please feel free to answer, guys. Obviously, we've got 12 so far, and there's 30 of you in the chat. Like, you don't have to answer, of course, but if you do, it just gives me more information, and the more information I've got, the better content I can make for you guys, right? And obviously things that you want to see more. You know, what I would say is, if you like the video that I suggested earlier, like, would you all like a video on each faction's main bans? If you'd like that sort of thing, what I would say is I would suggest saying no. Because you'd like more videos like that, because it will certainly detract from videos like that, because I won't have the time to do all of them. Or if you're not too interested about this video, because 17% said if you know, but you're also not interested in this, then I'd say no more tournaments if that's what you want. Or if you're not interested in tournaments other than all of that, I'd just say no. Maybe if you think you would be interested, but you're not too sure because you don't know about it. And then obviously yes, if you love that gorgeous stuff. So we are going to be having Beastmen up against the Dowie. This is probably one of their top 2 worst matchups in my personal opinion. We're going to have 3 units of Harpies in the sky, 2 units of Manticores as well, capping out their 5. In the back, we are going to have some Gore Herds with shields, 1, 2, 3... No, we're also going to have 2 Gore Herds with shields, 2 Ungors as well. Best of Gore Herds, 3 units, and also Morga the Shadow Gave. Morga here in the middle, who will be having the Stave of Corruption, Call of Violence, the Spirit Essence of Chaos, and Regeneration. Now, I can't see any mana. Over here. So we're also going to be having the Centaurs with Throwing Axes, 2 units of those bad boys, and the Brave Shaman of Wild with Traitorkin, which will be very good here, and the Brave Scream. Over here in this gorgeous box. Look at this. Now this here is a Chad Thora box if I ever saw one. So Iron Breakers here as well in the front line. Let's make that one unit. All the Nor Grimlings Iron Breakers as well. So 2 units of these bad boys here. And we are going to have some Longbeards around the side. More Iron Breakers, more Longbeards. Warriors of Dragonfire pass in the back. They don't have that immune to psychology, the Longbeards do. That is their one weakness. But we do have cannons here in the middle. We do also have some anti-large Trollhammer torpedoes, double cannons, Dragonback Slayers, and also Thoric Iron Brow. So Thoric here will be having a couple of runes, the Rune of Doom, the Rune of Wrath and Ruin, the Rune of Breaking, the Rune of Speed, his armor, as well as the Master Rune of Ancient Lore, the Rune of Hearth and Home, Forge Fire, and Power Locust. Now, considering the build you've got, considering you've got the ROR and you've got Longbeards, I don't really know if you need immune to psychology here, because you've also got a lot of unbreakable stuff like Dragonbacks. I think the Rune of Hearth and Home here is a bit of a waste. The fact we haven't got a Master Engineer as well for the Flash Bomb is interesting. But he's a phenomenal Dowie player. So these are just certain things that I will question myself whilst watching. You know, these are things that I do as a caster. I go, oh, maybe you could work without it. Let's have a look. Let's go and watch. So Cannon Fire here is going to be getting shot into the Centaur throwing axes. Big hitboxes there from the Skirmish Cavalry. So they're certainly going to get hit hard here. And because they've got big hitboxes, you know you're going to hit them pretty comfortably. And it's like here, the second cannon is going to be firing into the Besticles in the front line. Blasting Charge is going to be hitting here up against the Uncle Herds. Just removing those nice and quickly before they hit the front line means that they're not going to reduce any vigor here, which is also quite nice. And also the Iron Drakes or Hammer Torpedoes could be shooting here. It looks like they're going after the Ferromanticore. I'd have your cannons just focusing on these Besticles, I think. Now, these Dragonback Slayers, they are going to be having to play an absolute role here in the back line. They're going to be just protecting left, right, and centre here. They've got 2 cannons to protect, and there's only so many of them. 60 indeed. They are going to fly into the back here. Warriors of Dragonfire pass. Looks like some of them are also going to get onto the cannon crews here as well. Look at those flaming axes. Look, they look just absolutely fantastic. Blasting Charges in the front. Oh, no. Is this going to be the rune? Yes, it is. That rune there does lots of damage up against the Uncle Herds, but not too much up against the Bestigords. We are going to get a summon in the back of the Chaos Spawn, so they're going to move in and do some pretty good damage. We're now going to get the Ferromanticores in to do some fantastic stuff in the middle. We are going to get the Rune of Doom going down, though. That's a plus 24 melee attack, and also imbuing Fear, which means you're not going to get that negative 8 there from any fear-causing units. Flying in here with the Harpies, they're going to get on and really trying to see if they can disrupt the Iron Breakers, stop them from coming into the back and helping. They have lots of blasting charges here left online. We can see we have some Gore Herds and Shields fighting up against Longbeards. Longbeards should win there pretty comfortably. But in the front, we are going to be having the Nor Grimlings Iron Breakers with the overcasted Traitor Kin on them, fighting up against Bestigors. Now, blasting charges and cannons did pretty good work on them early on, so it looks like here they are going to win. Plus, they also have extra melee attack, and they're also going to be having that Rune of Doom, making them very good here in the middle. The Chaos Spawns with the Call of Violence, but they are unbreakable. But they're going to be certainly going down here to 3 models at 700 HP. Ferromanticore in the middle, doing some nice work. Flying away, though, is quite interesting. I know the Dragonback Slayers are close, but as you can see here, the Iron Drakes or Hammer Torpedoes can certainly do some good work. Going to be tracking there. Misses, but there's still lots of damage on him. Balance of power is even here. This box has certainly been broken very hard, very early on. As you can see, Mr. Chad Thoric, Rune of Speed coming over in this pocket, giving that increase to speed, and also the plus 24 melee attack. Ferromanticore is going to fly. Looks like we're going to get some recharge here from the Harpies up against the Nor Grimlings Iron Breakers. And really get those nice cycle charging in the back. Try and see if you can wither down that leadership and try and see if we can break them here in the mid-stage. Flying in with the Harpies, we have the anti-large Iron Drake Torpedoes. Can we get them in to do some good anti-large work here up against the Harpies? And looks like we are going to have the second Chaos Spawn summon in the middle. One of them here is chosen. The second is random. It's just whatever unit drops below 20% that's near Morga, just summons automatically. That's friend or foe, summons here as a Chaos Spawn unit. It looks like here we are having a Ferromanticore, as well as the fantastic Morga fighting up against Thoric Iron Brow. So we have the armor-piercing Bestigors as well. We got a nice spell in here. This is where you want to see the fantastic Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Lots of damage has gone down on the Ferromanticore whilst they're fighting up against the Nor Grimlings Iron Breakers. They are immune to psychology here, the ROR. There we go. I saw that there in the middle. That's a fantastic one there to have some good damage up against this nice elite and mid-tier infantry. A Rune of Doom for the plus 24 melee attack yet again. That's going to give Thoric 69 melee attack. Blasting charges here on top of the Centaur throwing axes. And that is going to leave the Iron Breakers to pop over. Now, they do actually have 59 melee attack with the Rune of Doom. They're going to come through and do some big hits here on Morga and also the Ferromanticore. Not too sure where those blasting charges came from. But it looks like here the Dragonback Slayers, they're going to be down to 12 models, 650 HP, fighting here up against the Brave Shaman. If they can remove that Winter Magic, that'd be very handy here. Oh, looks like the Manticores are now on top. No, this is painful here if you're Thoric. You need to pull Thoric through, really. Blasting charges are going to come from the Norgrimlings. Blasting charges here in the middle up against, oh, fantastic, up against those Bestigors. They do actually have 62 missile strength with explosion as well. Lots of armor piercing and explosive armor piercing damage as well. So something to take into account here. Norgrimling's Iron Breakers are no joke. 79 melee defense, Rune of Doom and a Rune of Speed. Going on top of that 43 with that 48, giving them a ginormous 91 melee attack. How are we saying, Aza? Hope you're doing well, buddy. Haven't seen you here in a while. Hope you're keeping well. But in the middle here, we are going to have some Iron Breakers fighting up against Morga. Morga just regens so fast with also 45 melee defense, causing poison as well. Just so painful. And here in the middle, we are going to have Norgrimlings, the Dragonback Slayers, and the Longbeards with Thoric Ironbrow fighting in the middle up against Caradox Ferromanticore. Balance of power is bang on even here. It is super even. We have some throwing axes on the periphery, as well as some Gore Herds with shields coming back into the pocket. I'm pretty sure they're going to get about here, and they're going to break and run away anyway. A fantastic... that's not an Edbutt, I forget what that's called. That's, I have to find the caster now. Let's have a look here. Been a while since I played these bad boys. Brave Scream. God damn it. So throwing axes here, they could certainly do some good damage up against the Norgrimlings Iron Breakers. I think that's a good way of putting ahead on the balance of power. Lots is breaking here. I'm not too sure what's left from the Beastmen to cause balance of power, because the majority of this is broken. It has to be entirely the Lord. Yeah, it's going to be entirely Morga here that's holding that balance of power. If he gets too heavily damage here, one Rune of Doom or one Rune of Speed will actually finish this game off relatively quickly. The Manticore is going to come back. He only has 9 leadership. I'm pretty sure he'll get close here. Yeah, Rune of Doom is going down. And there we go. Plus 24 melee attack will finish this game off and pretty quickly kill Morga the Shadow Gave. He's going to shatter. That is going to be the game. And an awesome one at that. Not sure Thoric would approve of so much gunpowder. Probably not. Probably not. Is the competitive scene broken as of now? Yeah. A little bit. A little bit. A little bit. It is a little bit broken. So, 1,370 for Thoric Ironbrow, 860 for the Longbeards with 350. So, for the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, 790 with 1,440 for the Dragonback Slayers, 1,460, 1,980, and 1,800 for the Norgrimlings Iron Breakers. 416 for the Trollhammer Torpedoes with 850 and 360 for the cannons. Excellent stuff. Morga coming in with 350 damage value, 131 kills with 2,686 damage value. The wild magic is still excellent here for the Beastmen. I like to see that it's transferred over, and it's still very, very strong. So we have 220 for the Gore Herds with shields, 250 with 185, 580, and 1,460. Now, I'd like Bestigors in this matchup. They have lots of armor, they have lots of armor piercing, but there's no real... I mean, you can buff their stats, and you can do some good debuff stuff as well up against the Dowie, especially when they do box, but I've never really seen Bestigors work excellently well. I think there are other ways you can do it. I think Tuskor Chariots and Mass Overwhelm is, I think, is a little bit better. But 108 here with 400 for the Centaur throwing axes, with 430, 350, and 180 for the Harpies. 470 for the Ferromanticore with 974. Yeah, so very good stuff indeed. Very good stuff indeed. I'm undivided on how I feel about Bestigors. I feel like Bestigors should be great, but I feel like they really struggle. And actually, in this matchup now, with Thoric always coming on his anvil, I think actually the Gore Command Rippers can be really, really justified in that matchup, I think. Yeah, really can be justified. Caradoc, no chariots. Yeah, indeed, indeed. Yo, Rebane! No, chariots are not banned, my friend. Chariots are not banned. We're just playing normal banner rules here today. Nothing compares to the power of Karak Angkor. Indeed. Karak Angkor. Sorry, it's Karak Asgol, Mr. Chad Thorgrim. Blasphemy. Vesticles aren't good, I don't think. They are good, but they have very limited application. Yeah, I think here if you go 2 Tuscal Chariots, a Wild Caster on a Tuscal Chariot as well, and then you also bring Morgul's fine, or you can bring Malagor in the sky, 2 Ferromanticores, and then you just go like loads of Centaurs with throwing axes, or you just go the Great Weapon the Great Weapon variety, and you just slam. You just come in hard. Karadok has great builds. Maybe he was just trying something else, which is absolutely fine. Yeah, perfectly fine to try out builds. Lizardmen, Band, Dwarfs, and Empire. Very good. I would say Vampire Pirates is a good pick here. Skaven can do nicely as well. That's for sure. Yeah, so what Kanane's saying is pretty true. The AoE bug spell, so I don't know if you saw the first game, Mr. Matt Shield, but AoE bug spell is pretty bad at the moment. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I actually generally think, and I think a few people might disagree with me, I think the AoE bug spell is worse than the Chariot problem. Because the Chariot problem can be dealt with, right? Pretty well. So... Alright, so I'm going to be leaving that there with the poll. I've seen Empire banned a lot. Banned by lizards. Yeah. I think Empire only ever really received any sort of buffs, I think. So would you like a competitive league like the short bid tournament open to any level? So, 37% of you said yes. 37% said maybe. I'd love to know what you think about maybe. Why maybe? If you don't feel comfortable saying it here in the Discord, please feel free. Sorry, in the chat, drop into the description, find my Discord, and directly message me why you might be interested, but you're not sure just yet. So do feel free to send me a message there. Bug spells are a problem because there's nothing you can do about it. Like, if someone comes in with Tuscal Chariots, you have ways to remove them, but if you don't remove them, then they can be a pain. And also, they have to be micro correctly, etc. While spells is just a click and spam, click and spam, click and spam, click and spam. And yeah, there is true skill cap levels in between the. You know, there's lots of conversation here, but essentially, it's easier to get more utilization out of bug spells than there is out of those chariots. Also, like the chariots have been nerfed, where you can only bring 3 of them max, 2 of them anyway, and then plus a hero. So. That's a way to think about that as well. So Dark Elves is going to be the counter. Dark Elves is a great counter here. Great counter. But I find worse the missile spam rattling gun bug. I don't know about that one, I don't think. Maybe this is one I don't know about. But there's lots of bugs with spells at the moment, like for example, missile spells, there's bugs with those, like where people are casting 2 spells by accident, and it is by accident, people don't mean to, but there is like, there's unintentional bug spells, you know, that could be like Fireball, Vindictive Glare, Gaze in the Gash, you name it, any sort of spell that has a projectile can be accidentally double cast, unfortunately. Sounds like I need to get a Scryer campaign going. Yes, Mr. Matt Shield, yes, Mr. Matt Shield. So for those that are wondering about why am I offering up a league, so what am I doing? What I'm doing here currently for the guys from the short bid is what I do is I collect all of their data within their specific league sets. So we've got the Peak Gate Guard, which is the top league. I grab all of their replays from week 1. They have 2 weeks to complete all of their games. Week 1, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop them all together, and I'm going to do sort of a... For anybody that's over here in Europe that knows what Match of the Day is, I'm basically do like a highlights reel, like Match of the Day, where you have like football highlights. You know, you see all the goals, all the excellent plays, all the near misses. You know, you'll be seeing a highlight reel of all the games. it will come up. You'll have both the army compositions on either side. Quick explanation from me, 10 seconds, bang, straight into the action. These are the key points of the battle that happened. This was the outcome. 1-0 here, 1-0 there, and then we'll go through each of them, and you just get a nice highlight reel of what's going on there with the league, so you get a nice quick update, and then when we come through to the end, and when the league does end, we actually have a massive tournament to celebrate the league ending, so we'll have the Season 1 tournament, which is the Norgrimlings tournament, which is where all of the guys there from the Shortbeard tournament can go and fight in the Norgrimlings tournament, so they all have a tournament there that is capped for them, so they can go have some fun in that as well. So I was hoping to maybe do something similar there for an open category, so anybody can play, join in the league, and just get consistent games every week. It means that you have... sounds like a lot of work, Logic. Well, it's a lot of work for me. It's a lot of work for me, that's for sure. So that's what I'm saying, like, if you guys do want... But this is the thing, if you guys want something, I will put effort into making it work, but at the same time, you have to want it. If you don't want it, I'm not going to go out of my way to make it, but if you want it, I'll do it. If you don't, I won't. So... that's why I'm asking you guys here on live stream, because we get a nice good back and forth here, so we can talk and go through bits. Mr. Ice Power, how are we? Speaking of Dark Elf legends, we have one here in the chat, and we are about to see some Dark Elves. Yeah, I think the league is quite nice as well. I think league, offers something that a little bit more consistent to tournaments. Like, for example, with tournaments, like in the WWC, you had lots of experience to play against good players and have consistent matchups that are ready to go, where you had better threes ready in the book to play. And also got you to play against new, different people that you didn't know in the community. So... yeah, it's nice to have those in as well. And then obviously over time, you'll get categorized into your skill pools. So for example, if you want to stay in the top league, then you have to keep winning. And then hopefully you'll have games there where you're playing against people of a similar ability. And you can sort of do that sort of thing. Yes, exactly, Mr. Blackthorn. So for those that have time constraints, for example, can only play on weekends, or can only play in the evenings, or time zone restrictions, you can organise when you want to play. So for those that do, unfortunately, miss my tournaments, you guys can come in and play at a time that suits you as well. And then obviously you'll still get your stuff on stream on as well for everybody else to enjoy your gameplay. Logic, you should have seen the Loki fight Icepower did yesterday. Ooh, I'll have to check that out. If you send a link in the Discord, I'll certainly love to check that out. Was it a beautiful Corsair build? I am actually a big Loki fan. I think he's probably my favourite Dark Elf Lord. So, here for the Dark Elves, we're going to have some Dark Rider shields. And in the front, we are going to have some shades. Good armor piercing as well. Some excellent stuff there. In the front, we are going to have some Bleak Swords mixing in with some Dread Spears. It looks like quite a few units of Dread Spears. Looks like it's going to be the max unit here, so it's like 5 a piece, or maybe 4 and 5. And we are going to have some more Dark Rider shields in the sky. Sorry, in the trees, and the Cold One Knights on either side. That's Cold One Dread Knights as well. So lots of armor piercing. And flying high in the sky, we are going to be having Morathi. And she's going to be on her Dark Pegasus, with obviously the Wand, the Soul Stealer, Heartrender and the Dark Sword, Enchanted Beauty, and the Great Arcane Conduit. So, pretty cheap and wide build here. 2 shades, lots of cheap Dark Riders, 2 elite Cold One Dread Knights, and lots of cheap chaff. Very interesting. Some ideas have been bounced, I think. So, let's move back over here. So, we are going to be having some Chameleon Skinks, and also some nice Chameleon Stalkers. And to double check, we've got enough range here. What else is this in the pocket? So we're going to be having some skin. Oh, a Skin Priest of Beastcaster in here somewhere. If I can get hold of him. He's going to have the Curse of Anera and also Flock of Doom. Skin Cohort Javelins. The Saurus Warriors with Shields. More Saurus. So 5 units of Saurus. And also here we are going to have the double Pistolodon Solar Engines. In the front we are going to have Oxyotl. And Oxyotl will have the Golden Blowpipe, the Master Predator, and Slippery. In the trees, we're going to have some more chameleon stalkers. So I believe that's not too much range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 units of range, that's fine. So big shots here going into the bleak swords. Now they are going to move forward. This should be a pretty interesting fight. The blasting charge effects here from the chameleon stalkers could do quite nice up against the lightly armored dark riders with shields. Goddamn, I do apologise. So look, so shots in the front. I just remember Marathi got hit here. I think maybe getting targeted down here by the Bastiladon solar engine. Good juke in here from Caradoc. In the trees, going to get caught with the chameleon stalkers. Not sure. Don't think quite noticed here by Mr. Thorgrim. So looks like we did get some blasting charges here into the riders. Some blasting charges into the back as well. Not too much damage, but they're certainly going to get charged now for their annoyance. They're going to get charged on both sides here from the Dark Riders. They actually didn't take too much damage value. They do have 40 armor, so it's not loads, but they've got some staying power. And looks like the poison here are going to come up against the Dark Rider shields as well. They do have some good speed. 79 speed when poisoned, so they should catch very comfortably here. Can certainly use with these chameleon skinks to come over and try and see if we can get some poke as well. Bastiladon shots in the front, they're going to be hitting here just solely up against Dread Spears. We're going to have the Huand that's going to hit here up against the Oxotl. But here we do have lots of Saurus Warriors with shields. Now Saurus Warriors are absolutely batter apart Bleak Swords. And here it looks like we are going to be having a Soul Sealer in the pocket as well. So Soul Sealer is going to hit both, but luckily not too much more. In the trees, looks like we have some Dark Riders here, just waiting in the wings, trying to see if we can get some Skink Cohort Javelins to try and get some good shots over the top. We are going to be firing through the trees, so a lot of that is going to get negated here. And they're also going to get downhill charge. That's really going to hurt here on the Skink Cohort Javelins. They've been hit pretty decently there. Looks like here we have some Bleak Swords being aided by some Coldburn Knights fighting up against. Some good armor piercing there from the nice Shock Cavalry. So we have beaten the Bleak Swords in the front. Curse of Venera going down for that negative melee defense, melee attack, and speed. Flying high in the sky. Big hit there up against Marathi. So we are going to have the Bastiladon solar engines get some nice shots in. So it looks like we do actually have Murderous Prowess going down, but we have the Dark Shards with shields going down to 12 models there. Surprised they haven't broken yet. But we also still have the Coldburn Dread Knights. Coldburn Dread Knights should absolutely decimate these Skink Cohort Javelins. They should chew these guys up for breakfast. Ooh, we did get some Chameleon Skinks back though. Chameleon Skinks can come over and get some good poke. 120 armor though is a lot of armor to shoot through, that's for sure. So 2 units of the Shades, lots of armor piercing here, going to pretty much... could pretty singly destroy the Saurus Warriors shields at this point. If they get caught up by the Dreadspear units, could be very painful. So they are going to catch here with the Shades, so they are going to engage them in melee combat, so they're not going to shoot here. And it's going to get a little bit difficult for the Shades to shoot over the top as well. I know that Arc of Fire is not excellent, but it's not bad either, so... That shot there is just going to miss from the Bastiladon. It looks like here Oxotl is going to be struggling, but we do actually have a healing cap coming out for Marathi. Looks like we have the Dark Rider shields in the back. They're just going to be stopping shooting here. And also stop the Skink Priest of Beasts. Looks like here we are going to get a wand again on Oxotl. That wand in the sky is going to come down. That could actually break him here if you're not careful. 350 HP, and he is going to be stabilizing. Saurus Warriors shields in the middle here. Dark Elves are going to be winning this with Caradoc pretty comfortably. It all depends on if you can keep Marathi alive. Yeah, they're going to be winning pretty heavily at this point. Coldburn Knights here doing some big work up against the single entity monsters. Soul Stealer as well, which will catch the very nice Skink Priest Beast, as well as Oxotl and also the Bastiladon. So Oxotl has gone down. That's negative 16 leadership faction-wide here for the Lizardmen, and that's going to be really painful here. We could really do with removing these Coldburn Dread Knights, because otherwise they're just going to destroy the Bastiladons. Big hits, though, on Marathi. So we did get Flock of Doom as well, which also caught the Dark Riders with shields. She's going to be down to 855 HP. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. I don't think it's going to be enough. Big, oh, shot to the face there. 380. She is going to stabilize. I have no idea how she stabilized after that. That big shot to the face and the low health. Maybe just balance of power there, keeping her alive. Bastiladon has broken. That is going to be balance of power. And an excellent game here from Caradoc. Now, here's the question, and this is what we all want to know. Does it get the Ice Power seal of approval? That's what I want to know. So 1,200 for Oxzotl with 418 here. Mr. Matt Shield, how we doing? Mr. America with 418 for the Skink Priests. 340, 422 here for the Chameleon Stalkers. 480, 570, 580, 650, and 380 for the Saurus Warriors. So okay overall, okay overall. I would have expected them to do a little bit better, but of course they're just bashing up against cheap infantry. I was a bit skeptical about this build, but ooh. So 175, 140 here from the Skink Cohort Javelins, 500 and 500 for the Chameleon Skinks, with 1,200 and 888 for the Bastiladon Solar Engines. Now, a really nice build here from Caradox, something I haven't seen before much, but 1.5k for Marathi, 300, 280, 560, 350 for the Bleak Swords, with 230, 190, 250, and 180 for the Dread Spears, 605 and 580 here from the Shades, with 620, 340, 109 kills for 700 damage value for the Dark Riders, and 660 for the last unit. 950 for 40 kills, and 157 for 1,257. Very nice indeed, very nice. My mama is so brave. Indeed, indeed. Yeah, so I really like Dark. I think the 3 units I really like. I like Dark Riders with the shields. I think they're very good. I also like Scourge Runner Chariots. No, I'm not saying in particular in any sort of matchup I like them overall as units. I think those two are very strong. And what's the other unit? There was another unit I like quite a bit. I think I like Dark Shards quite a lot. I think Dark Shards, although they are limited on range, they still offer some very, very good armor piercing. They're very good in general. Yeah, I think I like them quite a bit. Dreads are worth the money here, methinks. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. They certainly pay for themselves. Certainly pay for themselves, shutting down all those key units as well. So they pay for themselves more in value on the battlefield. Just shutting down those community skinks, stopping them from poking the front line, causing that poison overall, removing Marathi, these sort of things as well. I actually wonder how much Chameleon Stalkers do quite well up against, like, just countering units of cheap cavalry. Dark Riders is one of the best units in the game. Yeah, potentially. I really like Dark Riders. I see them like they either get bang on their value or they can get truckloads of value. They are very good. They're very fast. They're shielded. Don't have loads of armor. They're very easy to counter is the only thing, but I like them. I like them. When it comes down to elves, I'm not really a massive elf player. I would say for the majority, probably only a wood elf player. And even then, that's loose. So my knowledge of dark elves is not huge, to be fair. So, game 3 here. So we should be moving on to... see if my memory can send me. Pillar of Bone, I believe. Yes, Pillar of Bone. What the ROR bring over regular? Oh, the RO... which ROR? Oh, you're talking about the ROR Dreads. I'm not sure about the ROR Dreads. We can check now, actually. So... the Knights of the Ebon Claw. So the Cold One Dread Knights, looks like they just bring 10 leadership, 10 melee attack, and 10 melee defense. They cause fear normally, I think. So it looks like they can't rampage, and they come with murderous mastery. So ideally, not much. Yes, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. I forgot to change the scores. So one them, and one there. No problem, Mr. Blackthorn. No problem at all. We'll get a nice meaty, juicy. There we go. All right, question time then. Go! Answer. Answer away, everybody. Answer away. Karok is very fun to play against, and we'll theorycraft with you after. Yeah, man, he's a cool dude, man. I got a lot of time for Karok. He is a cool dude. Yeah, very good player indeed. He's really jumped through the ranks, that's for sure. Alright, let's have a look. So, Dark Elves is going to be taking the lead so far. Wood Elves have 0%. Damn, we have no Wood Elf fans here. Come on, guys. Surely we got some Wood Elf fans here, surely. Sadly, I can't vote, but I'm sure we got some. Surely you have some Durfu fans here, surely. 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 No life for them Wood Elves, eh? I'm going to add a fifth here, logic. All the elves. No. Which is your favourite elf? Mine's no elves, but I can't vote. Oh, dear. I don't play Wood Elves at all. Been jamming Dark Elves lately. Yeah, I think Dark Elves have got a big following. Big following. And High Elves. Hey, we got some Wood Elves. I prefer more no elves. But listen, it is what it is. The angry tree beast, indeed. Alright, so Greenskins, Lizardman, Vampire Counts, ban Vampire Counts, and Beastmen. Greenskin ban, fair enough. Pig Skaven. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's a heavy VC win in that department. But it looks like Caradot's going to go with Beastmen. Wood Elves are objectively the best elves. They're probably the best elves in the current meta, yeah. That's pretty well documented. I don't need to write a degree on that to tell you that. No paper needs to be written. Anyone who disagrees with that gets bullied by sisters. Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Skaven is an interesting pick, but also you got to remember, like, we don't know what Chad Thorgrim. I mean, he is going to be playing the Dirty Ratmen, but I've never really seen him play Ratmen before. But obviously, it's a good counter here, right? So Lizardmen and Vampire counts. Pirates wouldn't do so great there because they just lose to Vampire counts. But you could have gone Vampire Pirates and then banned VC. And then obviously you got Vampires up against Greenskins and Vampires up against Lizardmen. So two pretty decent picks there. Yeah, CJ, yeah. Hives are the worst, yeah, I think so. For Wood Elf, Sisters are the best Legendary Lord. Legendary Lord, yeah. Yes, I'll agree with that. Zypher, how are we? Hey, buddy, nice to see you back. Seems like I came at the perfect time. You actually just came at the wrong time, mate. You just missed Dark Elves. You just missed them. But I'm very glad to have you here either way. Now, guys, as we are here, we are only popping into Game 3 of the last semi-final. Winner here will be going into the final with Mr. VM Void Lols. And if you are enjoying today's stream, please feel free to smash that like button. And also think about subscribing. That would really help me here as I'm trying to grind towards that 1,000 subscribers. As I'd like to become a partner here with CA and also become a partner with YouTube. So it can help me support myself a little bit more so I can put more time into making excellent content for you guys. The more time I get, the more support I get, the more I can give. Now, currently you can't support me in a direct way here on YouTube, but there are ways you can support me if you feel like you want to. You can go into the Discord there and you can support on the Discord just by boosting the Discord, or you can go in and hopefully soon I should have a second option for you and maybe a little bit of a surprise for 500 subscribers if you do support me towards that lovely goal. Let's have a look here. I'll vote for Gromby. Okay, so I tell you what, we've had lots of votes here. We need to ask. We need to ask the next question if we can. I don't know if we can. And wait for it to go away, and then we'll ask the final question. Go. Answer it. Let's do this. Ready? Good luck. Have fun. Love that from both guys. But who is going to win? You've been doing great lately. Videos really seem to be the way to go. Yeah, man. I've been loving doing the videos. I've been loving doing the videos. I'm glad that you guys have really enjoyed watching them. And listen, it's all about, with the videos, I try to put the best with the most amount of time I have. Sometimes I have less than an hour to find a video, prepare for it, cast it, and then get it out there. That's all I have. I don't have, unfortunately, unlimited time. But obviously here, with the more time I can get for myself, by being supported, the better I can make these videos. You know, the more I can put into them, the more effort, and all these great things. So, I know that you guys might not understand what subscribing does, but subscribing, even if you get to 1,000 subscribers, really does help content creators. And so do likes. Likes add as interactions here to the live streams and videos. And what it does is it really spreads it out to the wider community as well. One of my most recent videos, which was really awesome, when the video went out live for the initial viewers, it had 91% unsubscribed people seeing that video. Now, it was a video there, that's the Dreadosaurian one that I did. So that's 91% of the people that have never seen my channel before, or maybe they have, they're just not subscribed. But it means there was a lot of exposure there. So, you know, all the likes and the awesome comments you guys put on that video was really nice, you know, and I really appreciated it. So here we... Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that, buddy. So here we are going to have some Blood Knights. Very nice here. I love the look of Blood Knights. I hate to face them, but I love the look of them. They're just so goddamn awesome, these vampires. And flying high in the sky, the Fluttery Boys themselves, the Fellbats. Nice, cheap, and cheerful. Very fast indeed. We're also going to be having some Crypticals here in the front. The poisoned, hunched back men themselves with the bony backs there with the skulls on. We're going to have some Skeleton Spears, some nice Cane Wraiths, as well as the Dire Pack Wolves. Dire Pack Wolves here are the anti-large, bonus versus large, 95 speed terror here that are very good against skirmish cavalry. We have Cane Wraiths, we have Blood Knights, we have Fellbats, you name it here, we've got it today as part of the vampire counts. We've also got some Skeleton Spears and lots of cheap and cheerful zombies. Double of the fantastic White Kings here in the middle with the Scab Scraith. So hopefully we see some more abilities there. Oh, let's go. Let's go, Caradoc. A man of the people coming in with Vlad von Carstein. The Carstein Ring, the Master of Beguilement, also Arcane Conduit, Raise the Dead, Dance Macabre, Invocation of the Heck, the Blood Drinker, and also Aura of the Dark Grandeur. Fantastic. Very wide here. Is that going to be double Blood Knights? That is going to be double Blood Knights here up against the Skaven. So for the Skaven, we're going to be having the clan of Vulcan Tail Slashers. Very nice here with their fantastic flaming swords. Good stats in general. I think they're almost a must bring in almost most matchups in really. And we have some Clan Rat Shields, the Council Guard Storm Vermin, Clan Rat Shields, Skaven Slaves, more Clan Rats, Skaven Slaves, Clan Rats, cheap and just not very durable. In the front line, we are going to have the Thing Hellbit Abomination, Mass Leadership, Anti-Large, Poison, Armor Piercing with the Fluid Injection, the Rats Emerge, and also Too Horrible to Die. We're going to be having Throt the Unclean in the front here, on top of a fantastic Beastie Boy here with 95 speed. He will be having the Beast Pack, the Creature Killer, the Remolded, and also the Master Controller. Also, I'll have a Plague Priest here on top of a ginormous Bell, who will be having the Pestilence Birth, Vermin Tide, Pestilence Breath, and also Pestilence Breath. Looks like there'll be a visual glitch there. So in the middle, we are going to have some Rattling Guns. Looks like also some Poison Wind Mortars, so just 2 units of the weapon teams here. So what was that? That looks like the Master of Beguilement. So yeah, nice ability there. Actually banks that ability out, so that ability's not going to be back for, I believe, another 2 minutes, if not 90 seconds. So very nice there. So it's like a lot of people here fancying Caradoc to win this. Ooh, big stuff on Caradoc. I like it. So, shots coming in here up against the Crypt Ghouls. Very good with their poison. And, yeah, they do pretty well here. They do pretty well in general. Master Beguilement's still on there. I believe it's 50 seconds as well. It's just such a huge ability. So the Poison Mortars have pretty much decimated the Crypt Ghouls here. I think they should move on to the next target and get the Rattling Guns here to fire into the middle. The Thing Hellbit Abomination is now in, and it's going to be fighting here up against the White Kings. The White Kings are going to be anti-infantry, and they're also going to be armor-piercing, but not hugely armor-piercing, so they could struggle, but the Hellbit only has 50. I think Throt has a bit more. No, 45, he has even less. Okay, that is surprising to see. Well, lots of damage here, also coming in with the Plague Priest on top of his Bell. They'll be fighting here up against the Floor Infantry. I don't think attacking Vlad is that important. You kind of want to see if you can remove the double heroes here. If you can remove the double heroes with the White Kings, Vlad's going to be so tanky, you can just deal with him at the end. You can just triple threat him at the end there. Looks like we have some Skeleton Spears. They should do some good anti-large work here on the Thing. We have some Criticals here fighting up against the front line with the Scathe and Slave Spears, and we have loads in reserve in the back, including the Unbreakable Council Guard Storm Vermin. But nice to see those in the front as well, aiding. It looks like one of the White Kings is going to go down. Pushing through is going to be Throt the Unclean. He is going to come after Vlad. Vlad has run out of the cast iron ring. He also doesn't have Master of Beguilement to stop as well, so we could get some good damage value on Vlad. Vlad does have 70 melee attack though, so you do have to be seriously careful. In the middle here, the Blood Knights, the anti-large, going to be fighting, and looks like we have a summon of the Rat Ogres as well. Can we get Creature Killer down? Can we get the extra anti-large? Also looks like here the Pestilence Breath is going to be just about missing. I think going down in this direction would have been a little bit better. So do we have it here? It looks like there is going to be an ability going down. The overcasted Dance Macabre for the plus 24 melee attack and speed. And look at Throt! Throt is getting absolutely destroyed here in the middle, down to 2,600 HP. We're going to have another Pestilence Breath here in the middle again up against the Blood Knights. Very nice indeed. Some Blood Knights here are going to be down by about a third HP, going down to at least half here. Lovely armor piercing coming for the Rat Ogres. They do have 75 armor piercing per model. So the anti-large here from the Thing going to be fighting here up against, what are they in here? It's Blood Knights, yeah, they're going to be fighting up against the Blood Knights. But we do have regeneration here for this bad boy. Not really any fire damage that is current for the vampire counts. Cane Rays here, going to be fighting in the background. We do actually have magic damage for the Poison Wind Mortars, so they can certainly remove pretty quickly if you're not careful. I believe we also have magic damage. No magic damage for the Rattling Guns, okay. So it looks like an Invocation. Yep, overcasted Invocation as well. So it's going to be a multi-model rather than single. We'll heal up to 4 models up to 864, I believe. Yep, 864 HP. So a lovely healing there in the pocket. Still going to be losing some of those skellies in the pocket though. Still fighting is going to be Vlad von Carstein. Is that Master of Beguilement? No, it looks like Fluid Injection, increased melee attack, armor piercing, and base weapon damage. Could do some really big hits here up against Vlad von Carstein. Otherwise, he's going to come after the White King. Very close to death, though, is going to be the Plague Priest. He certainly wants to get himself out of here. He's going to be getting Cycle Charged here. He will be going down, which means you will be losing those Winds of Magic if you can't protect him here with Throt. It looks like he unfortunately might be transferring the damage from onto the Thing Hellbit Abomination, as all of this is going to be fighting against him. Lots of anti-large, lots of single entity monsters as well with mass melee attack, but brilliant from Grombrindle. Pin him in and then shoot them here. Looks like he's going to be shooting them from the Poison Wind Mortars. Not super accurate, but when they are put together like this, they can take some big damage value. Now we can get summons in here, so when the thing does die, it can actually just spawn a bunch of clan rats, I believe. In the back, we have the clan rat shields that have been summoned using Vermintide. You should be able to push through and help remove these zombies. Remove everything else on the battlefield here as well. Looks like we have lost some clan rat shields. They should come back pretty quickly. They're pretty healthy there, considering balance of power, and also going to be favouring here up against the Skaven. Throt has healed. He's now going to be coming after the big man himself. All big charges on both sides there. Hits going down pretty successfully. Second hit's going to go through from the rear side as well, and healing cap is now going to be present. So you do have to be careful. Do we have the Council Guard Storm Vermin left online? I don't know if we do. But the Plague Priest is going to be very good there at removing all the infantry. Mr. Matt Shield is going to be online for the 60th time today. How you doing, buddy? Fighting here in the front is going to be the Plague Priest. He's down to 544 HP. Still having all of those fantastic tier-shaped spells coming out. Really good at removing all the cheap and cheerful chaff. Still lots of shots coming in from the Poison Wind Mortars as well. Throt's going to be trying to get as much cycle charging in as he possibly can. I think probably just trying to single out the White King here could be the way to do it. So I think a nice turn and burn here could do quite nicely. You could just... He's not going to have any sort of support. He does have 48 melee defense, but he will struggle up against Vlad von Carstein, but will easily beat the White King. So removing that White King could be nice. Also on the balance of power as well. And then killing Vlad could be a lot easier. Blood Knight's going to be just about stabilizing. That is a interesting stabilize. 600 of... there we go. Rattling Guns should be able to finish them off pretty nicely there. Rattling Guns are very painful up against Blood Knights. Negative 42 leadership, and now they're going to be fighting up against Throt as well. So they'll be losing chunks of HP over the time. We are going to have the Unbreakable Council Guard Storm Vermin. They'll do very well. The armor piercing here up against Vlad von Carstein. Healing cap coming out for him. And it could be very quickly game over here if you're not careful. Vlad could certainly do with some summons. The Cast Iron Ring is going to go down for that 60% damage resistance. What does the White King have left in the pocket though? A couple of Scab Sprays, hopefully, maybe in the pockets. Master of Beguilement certainly needs to be utilised on Throt where possible. Apply where needed. Just hopefully we can remove some of those melee attack. Negative 40 melee attack is huge. We'll put him down to just 18. But he's going to be fighting here. Both are at their regen cap. And there we go. We are going to get a nice move here from the Skaven Slaves. If we do manage to get him to turn and fight here, which we will, that'll be a nice rear charge down in the back. Oh, maybe get some shots from the Rattling Guns into the back. That would be quite nice. Good armor piercing there would do very nicely. Looks like they are going to get caught, though, a little bit out of shape. They've moved a little bit too far forward here. Poison Wind's going to be firing the back up against the Blood Knights. 24 leadership for them. 550 HP. Loads of leadership considering how damaged they are. But here in the middle, we do actually have the Council Guard, the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, all of the good entities here in the pocket. Only Fear for the White King, so only given that negative 8. The rest should stabilize pretty comfortably. Otherwise, keep the Plague Priest nice and close, and that should do the work that you need. In come, though, the Blood Knights. If they can remove the Plague Priest, you could turn the game on its head. Now, actually removing the Rattling Guns is really smart. Lots of balance of power there. Lots of ammunition left for them as well. So removing those and that cost here to the game should shift balance of power quite nicely, but they are going to get hit for their troubles. Negative 4 leadership, that is going to cause them to crumble. Negative 13, they're stable. Oh, nice. Invocation and hit going down to keep them alive. That is necessary. That is going to stabilize them. Oh, negative 21. Balance of power has shifted back a little bit here, so that is looking a little bit better. And most of that's probably going to be due to Throt the Unclean. Did we kill... We killed the caster, right? Surely. Yeah, the caster... Looks like the caster has gone down. Yes, caster has gone down. So we have some Skaven Slave Spears and some Skaven Slaves on the periphery. Could hopefully get those involved as well. These mortars are going to be firing here into the Blood Knights. Got to be careful because that balance of power is shifting closer and closer here. Looks like 8 models at 800 HP. We have removed the White King, so it is going to pretty much be Vlad von Carstein versus the world here. Master Beguilement. We'll be having Beguilement here for Throt the Unclean. And hopefully a Dance Macabre in the end stage could bring a comeback here. But it's going to have to be utilised very, very carefully here. That has to be used on Throt the Unclean when he attacks. Not before he attacks, but when he's going to attack. And then you have to use your Winter Magic here to try and see if you can finish him off. If you can finish him off, this is certainly winnable. Big hit here coming through. Looks like that wasn't successful. Cast Iron Ring has been used, meaning that damage is going to be negated by a massive 60%. That's going to be no point here fighting with Throt the Unclean. Just send the chaff in to do the work. Looks like the Clan Rat Shields are in. The Clan Vulcan tail slashes as well, with those flaming attacks. Any and all manner of fire damage here is always welcome up against the Vampire Counts with all the tremendous amounts of regeneration that they do have in their possession. The Council Guard Storm Vermin and Master of Beguilment going down, so that's fantastic. That is a win here. So now you can continuously circle charge using Throt the Unclean, knowing that his melee attack is not going to go down. But we do have 0 melee attack here for the Council Guard Storm Vermin. So now that is a problem. I would probably get them out here. You probably don't want them fighting in combat. Just get the Clanrat shields in, because they're not going to be outputting anything, but they're going to be taking loads of damage in return. They do have 50 melee defense, so take it either way you like, I guess, but they're not going to successfully hit anything. Poison Wind Mortars in the back, they shouldn't fire at this point, simply just because they're just going to be hitting a lot of their own entities, causing lots of damage there. They might hit Vlad, but you're not going to get the trade-off value you want. We have lots of Skaven Slaves in the pocket, but they're not really that useful at this point. This around here should win the game. And a brilliant series we've had here from Caradoc on Grombrindal. Been an excellent one between these guys, but some fun builds as well, actually. You know, you can go extremely meta here, or you can go the way these guys have gone. And the way they've gone is really fun. Seeing Vlad has been quite nice. Also coming with the Cast Iron Ring, Master of Beguilment, and all of the nice abilities that he has. Just makes it really fun with also that regeneration, watching him fight. Yeah, it's just nice to see such a cool Lord. I do like Vlad, probably one of my favourites. Yeah, probably actually my favourite VC Lord, actually, I would say. Creature Killer, bonus was large, and Immune to Psychology. Immune to Psychology is going to be huge here in the pocket. Just meaning that fear. Does he have Terror? He does have Terror, which means these guys now can't be terrorized for a good duration of time, and Fear can't be given them the -8 leadership. So there we go. He has been broken. He now has been shattered. He will be dying, and a fantastic victory here for Grombrindal. What we say, Mr. Doctor? Hope you're doing well, my friend. And we'll be going through here to the finals. So we'll be having Mr. Grombrindal up against Caradoc. Sorry, up against Void. So Grombrindal, well done. You made it to the final, my friend. Well done. I like it. Alrighty. Yes, GG's indeed. So Throt the Unclean, 2,080 damage value with 1,760 for 105 kills here for the Plague Priest, with 108 and 60 for the Skaven Slaves. The Spears here, 45, 72, 113, 69 with the fantastic Clanrat Shields with 140, 330. I'm a little bit surprised to see seeing shields here. They do add extra melee defense, but half of their cost or extra cost is going to come from that missile resistance as well. So I think just normal Clanrats here would have been fine. But 880 here for the Clanrat Shields, and for the Clan of Vulcan Tail Slashers, 884 damage value. I really like this unit, I really do. And the same here goes for the Council Guard Storm Vermin. The thing I like about them, they do have the Unbreakable ability, which means they will just fight here. They have so much more potential to give. 167 kills, 1,675. Very good unit indeed. Anti-large armor piercing, just very good overall. Oh, and including that, they also have Guardians. That could be good to support Throt and also the Plague Priest. But 650 here for the Rattling Guns, 1,960 for the Poison Wind Mortars. Excellent as always, with 1,550 damage value for the Thing Hellpit Abomination. Yeah, no problem, Mr. Chad Thorgrim. Chad Thoric, you crack on. He used to be Chad Thorgrim. God damn you. 3,080 damage value here for Vlad von Carstein. Excellent from Caradoc. 312 and 923 here for the White King. 130, 45, 25, 52 and 66 for the zombies, with 511, very nice from the Skeleton Spears, and 170 from the second unit. 100 kills for 280, 0, 160 and 344 here from the Crypt Ghouls, with 188 here for the Cane Wraiths. Cane Wraiths are okay, but they're very risky. Most weapon teams have magic damage, so it is risky. Even globes have magic damage, so they're very risky. But it looks like here we got 2,828 for the Blood Knights, 1,600 for the second, with 350 for the Fellbats, and 320 for the Direpack Wolves. Very good indeed. So I'll be kicking you then, Mr. Chad Thorgrim. I think, yes. Right, so Void, where are we? Let's get you in, my friend. So Void Lol's in the final, up against Mr. Chad Thoric. Oh, so a lot of you thought that he was going to win. Now, mostly, it does mostly favour the vampire counts, that's for sure. Oh, there we go. That's what I needed. That's the way to get to the end. Yeah, GG's well played. Yeah, no worries, Mr. Chad Thoric. You take your time, my friend. You take your time. So, we're going to be on Outdorf Outskirts for the first one here. We're going to be scaring some Empire folk. Hopefully that goes through. Go on. Do it. Nope, it's not going to do it. Okay. Will this be best of 5 now? Yes, this will be best of 5. So it'll be best of 5 games here between Void and Mr. Grombrindle, which should be cool. Ah, yes, it does. It did go through. Nice. So let's get this changed. Grombrindle here, and Mr. Void Lols here. We'll smack a VM at the beginning of that then, shall we? It's amazing. I can hear Ducky behind me in the kitchen talking to my housemate. Right, well, welcome everybody to the final. I hope you've had a good session today. It's a bit weird for me being back streaming. I realised I was talking to some of the admins there on the channel and the Discord. I was saying I haven't streamed in 9 days. 9 days for me not streaming. That's a lot for me. That's a lot for me. I love streaming. I love streaming. So it's a long time. It's a long time for sure. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's stream. It was a bit weird for me being back after so long. But alright, so... So, which is the best S tier faction? So we're going to have green skins. We're going to have... Bretonia and also Lizardmen. Our skill community. Gotta miss the final. Go Grombrindle. Thanks for the streams, GG. Thank you very much, Mr. Blackthorn. It was lovely to have you here, buddy. You take care of yourself, mate, and I'll see you very, very soon. So I just asked you guys a question. Which is the best S tier faction here currently in the meta? So we have Greenskins, we have Lizardmen, Wood Elves, and Bretonia. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you believe to be the strongest. Looks like we have another one here for... Welcome, Mr. Undead. Welcome to the Discord, that's for sure. Yeah, so it looks like lots of you guys are really enjoying the idea of the Shortbeard League. If you guys are a new player here watching today, or perhaps you're watching this after the stream, please feel free to drop in afterwards and ask about the Shorebird League. There's going to be a new league here for brand new players. Now, when I say brand new players, that could be players that say you haven't had much exposure here to Warhammer in the multiplayer scene. So for you guys, like for example, for myself, I used to do a lot of, and now I'm a little bit out of touch with it, to be fair, but I used to do a lot against the AI, the computer, lots of single player on the top difficulty. So, and I believed that, you know, that would make me good at the game, but then I played multiplayer and I realized, yeah, I'm not good at the game. And playing here, you know, it's different. The rule sets, the way people play, and playing against somebody else, of course, is always going to be more different. But there's a brand new league here for new players, so you can come in, you feel comfortable, you can get in, play multiple games as well, play best of 3, so you can try out, see what factions you like, and really build up through the leagues. And what happens is you'll progress from the bottom to the top. Once you've won the top, you then leave the tournament. You've then essentially progressed through the Shorebird tournament. You've then done. You then go join the BattleMania tournaments, you come join my other leagues potentially in the future, all the other good things as well. Vlad never carried, it's true, not Sigvor. I mean, Vlad got 3,000 damage value, Karolok. He got 3,000 damage value. Logic, I'm hoping you don't ever decide to quit YouTube. I have no immediate plans to quit YouTube, buddy. No immediate plans at all. The only time that I would ever consider quitting YouTube is if, for example, I got to a dead state where I couldn't support myself. So, for example, if I had to support my actual life outside, let's say something horrendous went wrong, like I lost my job or something like that, and I had to do something drastic. That'd be the only time I'd probably stop YouTube. Like, for example, if I lost everything else around me and only had YouTube to support myself and it couldn't support me solely, then I would have to do something else. But with the way that you guys are supporting me here on the channel currently, I'm super blessed. Like I'm super happy. So thank you very much for everybody that has supported me. Vlad versus Sigvald without magic is sad to watch. Yeah, I can imagine. I feel like the Pete Gay God has too many players. So the thing with that, Hank, is what will happen is those good players will get filtered out anyway. So one wins every season, and you can't. So the way it works, because one leaves, nobody gets relegated. Only somebody jumps up. Right. So once you're in that top league, you don't get relegated from there. Only people leave. So it will continuously keep cycle charging there, cycle charging the top league. So you'll just get people pushed up there, push, and you'll keep playing until you're good enough that you leave. So all the great players that are there, you know, all the fantastic players like Artisan, Didatron, Cowboy Bob. I mean, all of the 5 guys in there are awesome. Actually, they're all awesome players. They will get cycled out, and it's sort of a conveyor belt process that should hopefully catapult you through. And then you should be able to go and join either the big league that I plan to do here, potentially, if that's what you guys want, or come join the tournaments like I host here. So yeah, it should be pretty good. It's a bit useless ability that decreases melee attack by 40 because you will always have minimum chance to hit. Yes, it goes down to 0.01 or something like that, or 0.1% chance. Well, it's a 0.1% chance of hitting, which is not huge, to be honest. But yes, I know what you mean. There's always a chance for you to hit. There is always a chance, and if you do hit, it's just a dice roll, right? So it just means that out of 1,000 times you'll hit once for each model. And each model, that doesn't mean if you've got 1,000 models, one model will hit. That's not how it works. That's an individual roll for each individual model. So, here we go. In the final, Chad Thorgrim up against Void. Let's see who's got it. So, it looks like the majority of you are going to be favouring Lizardmen as the current top faction at the moment. Even is going to be Greenskins, and what else? Bretonia, a lot of you guys aren't fanning Bretonia. Nirob, how are we doing? How are we doing? No problem, Nirob. Nirob, please double check my Discord. I'm hoping to get some games with you, buddy. Been hoping to get you in. You are currently part of the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass League, I believe. No? Grumbly Guards? Yes, you're part of the Grumbling Guards. So feel free to check out the leagues on my Discord channel, because you're in a league. Must go have a nice tournament. No problem, Mr. Flex Prime. You enjoy your day, my friend. But no problem, Rob. I will always be putting on content like this. You never have any fear of that. So it looks like Lizardmen are going to be up there with what else? Very even at the top there. Very interesting indeed. I realised I meant to change this. I didn't change this. There we go. That's going to reset it. That's also another glitch. But yeah, that's going to reset it there. That's quite nice. No problem, buddy. No problem at all. And that's the nice thing about the league. If you do have a busy week, which you clearly have, so I hope you're doing well. Logic, check DM. I sent you what you asked for. Oh yes. Thank you. I did see that. I really appreciate that, buddy. I'd love to cast that game if it's a good one. I mean, it's going to be a good one. You two are playing together, so it's going to be a good one. Double check you didn't ask me anything else. Okay, cool. So you didn't ask me anything else, but yes, I will look into it. But yeah, don't be sorry, Neron. Yeah, just want to make sure that you don't miss out. I don't mind you being busy, whatever it is. Just want to make sure you don't miss out. That's all. I want everybody to have the opportunity to play. I always want people to play. Never feel bad if you're going to miss out on something. If you just can't make it, that's fine. So the Basilion Solar Engine, 2 units here. We're also going to be having some Skin Cohort Javelins in the trees. Make that 1, 2, 3 units. And the Star Chamber Guardians. Fantastic magical halberds here, which have the Guardian ability, anti-large, armor piercing, all the other good stuff. We are going to have some Saurus Warriors with spears. Looks like we're going with a bit of a halberd box here. Saurus spears, as well as it looks like here the cohort of Sotek. Bit of lag, but we should be able to go through it pretty nicely. I think Void's okay. But it looks like Ungol Spearman in the front. Also, the Destroyers of Drakwold will be having 2 units of the Ungol Raiders. Ooh, this is a bit laggy, isn't it? And we're going to have some Razorgore Herds, 2 units. 2 units of Manticores in the sky with some Harpies and some Centaurs on the floor. Lord choice today is... Oh, Torox the Brass Bull. He will have the Brass Body, Slaughter's Call, and Blunt Greed with the caster today, which will be, it looks like a wild caster with a Razorgore Chariot. This is super duper laggy. That's a shame. This lag is a problem. I feel like somebody's going to drop out here. Thank you for being understanding. I will try and get it immediately tomorrow after getting Shelley's blessing, vaccine number 2. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate that. But there's absolutely no stress to get anything done here. Just okay. I think the problems are on Void side, as far as I can see on my side. I'm struggling to connect to Void, not Grombrinder, I think. Let me double check this. Yeah, that seems to be where I'm struggling, but that's okay. Like, you know, we can't. These are things that you can't help, unfortunately. So we have Jagged Dagger, the Vile Tide, and Traitorkin. Yeah, pretty standard stuff here from the Wild Caster. Yeah, I think you should be fine, mate. I think you should be fine. But I can see my connection points here, and it seems stable now. It looks like we had a bit of a peer-to-peer problem there, but now it seems fine. It should be fine. I want to play these on live stream, but if we can't, we can't. I'll just cast them at a later date. But here we go, moving forward. But yeah, Nirob, you take care of yourself, buddy. You make sure you get that vaccine. You make sure you're healthy. And I don't mind you taking a little bit of time out to make sure that you're all good, so that you're ready to play and you're ready in your prime. Kadane said he can't play till next week anyway. You have a full 2 weeks to get all your games done, so I have full trust in you that you'll get it done. Just for yourself, make sure you're healthy, and there will be time. There will be time. Because obviously, if you give me all 4 of your games in the second week, I can't cast as many of your games, right? So obviously I'll try and do like your first 2 games will be the one I cast in week 1, and then the first 2 games will I'll be doing week 2 as well. So alrighty, so we're moving in here, the nice spear and anti-large box here. We're going to be shooting in the front line. Oh, nice hits there on the Brave Shaman of Wild. Hits in the sky up in the Ferromanticores as well. Battle power is going to be in Void Lol's favour. Hits are going to be going into the Ferromanticores. Now, no regeneration here, and there's going to be no healing as well. But we don't have any healing here on the side either, so something we do have to be careful of. I mean, we do have Lord Master Mundi. Now, he does have Apotheosis, more than likely. So he'll be having the Ruination of Cities, Banishment, Shield of the Old Ones, Apotheosis, and Net of Amentok. He also has Rolling Skies, which is quite nice. So Rolling Skies will get that negative speed and negative melee defense. Coming into the snipe is going to be the Ferromanticore. Looks like we are going to net here with the Torx, the Brass Bull. We are going to get the anti-large spears and the shield going down as well. Shield of the odd ones with that 20% damage resistance. We're also going to get the Star Chamber Guardians in. Going to get that 15% physical resistance here to Lord Master Mundi. Shots coming in from the Bastillodon Solar Engine up against the Ferromanticore. We also have the Skin Cohorts with Javelins fighting as well. This is a brilliant start here from the Lizardmen and Master Mundi. So we are going to have an explosion here. Fantastic explosion spell up against the Star Chamber Guardians. Some good damage there. Looks like it's just a single cast, not an overcasted one. We are going to have a banishment on the Centaurs, though. Is it going to go off is the question. It is going to go off. A fantastic one indeed. Only at the... Oh my god, so much damage. Excellent stuff there from Grombrindle. He is going to do some Skin Cohort Javelins for that, but he'll certainly take that trade-off for sure. And we are going to be having Mazda here fighting up against Torx the Brass Ball. The Brass Body is going to go down 40% in damage resistance, increased the melee defense as well by 24. Makes him such a tanky boy. But he can get shot. He's very susceptible to getting shot. He does have 130 armor. Net is going to go down, and now we're going to charge. So we are going to move in. We do not have any buff abilities here to increase his melee attack, but we do have the Brave Shaman pushing in. Now, the Brave Shaman is painful. He's a very good... Sadly, a very good anti-large specialist, where he shouldn't be, but he is. Also, we actually have some Tuskarl Chariots as well. I didn't see the Tuskarls there, so we do have a single unit of the Tuskarls. Now, Mazda has been pushed out on his own, but we do have the Star Chambers, Physical Resistance, and more Temple Guardian. Anti-large that can really deal with Torx the Brass Bull. Mazda is also going to be aiding. We do need to cycle charge with the Brave Shaman. He's going to be using the Jagged Dagger for the extra mana. Shots could come through here, though, up against Torx the Brass Bull. A Traitorkin that went down. Yes, Traitorkin, a single Traitorkin goes down, so that's a reduction in speed and damage over time. But I think double overcasted here can be a little bit better. And we are going to get the Tuskarl Chariots here fighting up against the Bastillodon. Shield of the Old Ones to help that protection as well for the Star Chamber Guardians whilst they do fight up against the Ferromanticore. And we can see Torx the Brass Bull here fighting up against Lord Master Mundi. Still, in my opinion, probably the best Lord for the Lizardmen. And one of the better Lords here for the Beastmen for sure is going to be Taurox. Now here, the Tuskarl Chariot is going to be cycling here into the Bastillodon Solar Engine. And still good single entity models, but as you can see, the Net of Amentok on the Brave Shaman of Wild. He's going to be very damaged here. Throwing axes coming into the booty of Lord Master Mundi. As you can see, the Brave Shaman has been smashed directly in the face, and he is going to break. Balance of power here is going to go into the Lizardman's favour. We are going to move in on the Unbreakable Refuse to Die cohort. So take 4 models left. They will not die here. They will be going down to pretty much 11 HP each. But they will fight here with that poison, and that is very handy here. Poisoning all around can really, really help. Master Mundi is getting trash canned a little bit here, though, so you do have to be careful. Taurox can continuously get shots here by the Bastillodon. We are going to receive a little bit of lag here. If we do lag and cut out, I will make a decision of who will win the game here. There is a decisive victory in my mind. But Torox here is going to be wavering. He is going to get out 900 HP for him. Now, I believe there's a bit of an uphill climb here left for Void. He does have the Grog Hooves of the Wolf's Run. They do have that regeneration as well. Looks like we are going to have Ruination of Cities. It's an interesting Ruination of Cities. The Banishment as well. And looks like the Banishment's not going to quite pay off. Maybe a little bit of lag there didn't quite aid in that matchup. But as you can see here, Torox the Brass Ball is going to be wavering. 644 HP for him. He's going to get hit in the back here from the Red Crested Skins with that poison. The Anti-Large Temple Guards and the Saurus Spears as well coming into aid. He has broken, but we still have some Tuscals left here. So 2 units of Tuscal Chariots should be pretty difficult here to remove. But we do have the Star Chamber Guardians nice and close. This is an excellent build here from Mr. Thorgrim, that's for sure. Sorry, Mr. Thoric. You're not Thorgrim anymore. For God's sake, Grombrindle. Pick a name and stick with it. But it looks like here running away is going to be Torox the Brass Ball. He's pretty quick. 55 speed when he's not poisoned. Sorry, when he is poisoned. 65 when he's not. So, yeah, pretty good news there. He has gone down. That is going to be negative 16 here, faction-wide for the bad boys here for the Beastmen. And it's going to be pretty painful from here. Just heal up Mazda Mundi. That should be a pretty quick dubski as well. See, this is what I'm talking about. How's he getting shield of the old ones here when the shield is over here? So AoE spells are really, really bugged. That was nearly 20 meters out as well. So that's very, very interesting. Alright, so we'll end that poll. Oh, looks like we got a triple... We've got a triple top. Very interesting. So, here, Torox 950 damage value with 1,570 for the Bray Shaman, 308, 200, 400, and 260 here for the Destroyers of Drakwold, 400 and 250 for the Ungor Raiders, with 570 for the Centaurs, 880 for the Tuscals, 916 for the Tuscal Chariots, with 1,300 for the Grog Hooves of the Wolf's Run, and also 200 here for the Harpies. We have 280 and 250 for the Razor Gores, with 220 and 300 here for the Feral Manticores. Nice build in general. This is a very, very good build. 2,100 here for Lord Mazdamundi, 650 for the Temple Guards, 900 here for the Saurus Spear Shields, with 1,500 here for the second Temple Guard. We've got 603 for the Kokor of Sotek, with 880 here for the Star Chamber Guardians. 230, 90, and 270 for the Skin Cohort Javelins, with 1,500 and 1,470 for the Pistolodon Solar Engines. Really nice build here for both sides. Excellent play from Chad Thoric. Good stuff indeed. I know, Narandon, I know. Infuriating. Have a word with your clanmate. Have a word with him. Have a word with him. I'm going to have to pull him to one side. BM should certainly replace BR here. BR. I'm not sure what you mean by BR. GG's well played. That was an excellent game indeed. So game 2 here, we are going to be moved. That was an excellent game, I must admit. Actually, I did enjoy that. So Astilian Tomb for the second game. So there's one man that's very good at dealing with boxes. It's certainly Void. He can certainly smash apart boxes. But one of the boxing pros is going to be Chad Thoric. So these two are very well tied against each other here. I love the fact that Brett don't even think they're strong. Well, I think Bretonnia is probably the weakest of the S tier factions for sure, especially with the poison nerf. I think it actually hits them the most out of all of the ones at the top here for sure. But yeah, I think that's fair. I could see all... I mean, Lizardmen, Wood Elves, and Greenskins, they're all very, very strong. They're certainly S-tier factions. Bretonnia could be argued as an A+, or maybe you could put Greenskins, Wood Elves, Lizardmen in an SS tier, with an S tier being solely Bretonnia. And I'm disregarding bugs here. I'm disregarding bugs. So AoE bugs, chariot bugs, I'm disregarding them. Okay? I'm not interested in them. Once the bugs are gone from greenskins, the greenskins might drop just a little bit. But Wood Elves, Lizardmen, and greenskins are still very strong. Grom is still very good. They're definitely some strong units. Big Dwarf burn. So the nice thing here, and this is what I really like from Mr. Chad Thoric, now we've already utilized Beastmen. As Dowie is a lot better pick now. So what we do is we probably ban Skaven and we probably ban High Elves. They're probably the two bans. The other one you probably could ban... Yeah, so that's what Chad Thoric has done. So it just shows that he's very well versed here in the Dowie. One of the better players here in the game with Dowie. Two very good bans. Two very good bans. And also Beastmen are out the park now. So... what do you have here as Void? Now, Void can do a number of things. He's a very good Vampire Counts player. I don't think Vampire Counts are going to do brilliantly here. Pretty even. Probably, it's difficult to say. It's very even. 50-50 here, I think. I think Dark Elves is the way to go. I think Dark Elves is the one. Oh, SS sounds what? Sounds nose? I'm not sure you meant to say that, Kadane. I'd say there is no S tier and tier is an A tier is Greenskins Lizardmen. I think S tier for me is just the top tier. So when it comes down to brackets, just S tier is just the top tier. So essentially, you'd just be saying that Greenskins and Lizardmen are the top tier. Oh, did you close the page, Garrett? Like, no. How you doing, Undead? Hope you're doing well, buddy. I'm going to start taking notes. Yeah, Undead, please take as many notes and please ask as many questions as you feel welcome to. Feel free to subscribe here and you'll be able to see all the videos I pop out, all the live streams as well. You'll be able to pop in, ask as many questions as you like. So I think when we talk about tiers as well, we talk about tier factions, I'm actually going to be doing a tier list as well. I'll be doing a refined tier list, which will be a video rather than a live stream after what I did last time, including the patch notes. The reason why they're at the top as well, things like Wood Elves are at the top, is because they don't have many counters. Nothing, just a dumb joke. Oh, okay. I'd agree that there are no SOP tier. Okay, if you truly think that S has to be OP, then no, there is no OP ones. But I just think of S as the top tier faction, just as the super factions. They're the factions that, to be in the S tier, you have to fulfill a couple of categories. For example, you have to be able to be a first pick. So you have to basically be able to be picked first. So Lizardmen can be picked first. And normally for them, you're banning Vampire Pirates and Skaven. Wood Elves can be first picked as well. I think you probably ban Bretonia and you ban Dowie, probably your two bans. Hey, dude. Maturek, how you doing, buddy? Can I join? Can you join what, my friend? What would you like to join? You tell me what you'd like to join, and I'll tell you if you can join it. Then if we also take into account greenskins, you probably want still banning Lizardmen, and you're still probably banning Vampire Counts, and you can pretty much take on anything else. You want to fight me? I'm not playing today. But you can certainly have some games against me, buddy. If you want, feel free to go into the description here. I'll see what I'll do for all of you guys that are perhaps not sure how to go into the description and find all of these things, which is perfectly acceptable. There is a link there to my Discord. I'll send it to you guys. If you need to get hold of me for any reasons, this is the place to find me. So this here is my Discord. So you guys can hop onto that link there, and you can come into my Discord, and then you can get hold of me there. And you can ask me to play some games. And I generally, on a daily basis, multiple times a day, I hang out there. So you should be able to find me. Empire is a bad matchup as well, Cowboy, but it's not unwinnable. I would say, for example, most of the ones that are pretty strong, like I think Vampire Pirates, a good Vampire Pirates player into a good Lizardman player will struggle. And Bretonia have two pretty clear bans, one of them being Dowie. And the second one is now going to escape me. Lizardmen. Yeah, those two are pretty strong bands there. So, but otherwise they can pretty much take on any other fight, I think. I mean, Void is an excellent player, Carador. There is no doubt how great Void is. And Chad Thoric is also an excellent player. I don't think his pool is as wide as Void, but I think those that he is good at, he is better than Void. So, for example, the Dawi, Lizardmen, he has 3 or 4, maybe even 5 factions that he is excellent at. Like, some of the best in the game at. And outside of that, I think in games of 7 and stuff, he can struggle. But Void has a very good repertoire of factions that he can play in, that's for sure. So Lizardmen here up against the Dawi, and I think at the moment this guy only favours the Dawi. Just came from there looking to learn the game. Yes. Oh yes, you did, Mr. Undead. Yes, you did. But this was also for Vakturak as well, if he wants to fight me. Unless you're the same person. I'm not sure if you're the same person. But yes. So game 2 here, let's make sure I update the scoreboard, otherwise my mods will hammer me for not updating. as they love to do. So we're going to be 1-0 here for the big Chad Thoracle, otherwise known as Grombrindle. Chaos is a tough fight for Brett, but for example, in the Short Big League, in the Peak Gate Guard, as an example here, we did actually have a win here. We did actually have a win as the Bretonians. It can be won. It can be won. I think Dark Elves do well here. I think Dark Elves, considering their level of faction and who they're playing against, like having a CB tier up against a CB tier here as a good counter is good in a best of 5. So there's different levels here. We'll talk about this as we move on. But best of 1s, best of 3s, best of 5, and best of 7s have strategies, and the strategies are very, very different. I'll explain why in a moment. So let's go through it. So Mr. Chad Thoric. We do have some Thunderers here, 2 units, mixing in with the Norgrimling's Iron Breakers. In the front as well, some more Iron Breakers. The Warriors of Dragonfire Pass with those lovely flaming magical axes, and also Longbeards. We're going to be having some Dwarf Warriors in the middle. We are going to be having a Master Engineer here, the boy that has certainly been buffed. He has the Flash Bomb, the Ballistics of Calibration, the Fire Ring of Tori, and the Restock. We're going to be having the man in the chair, the man, the myth, the Thoric Ironbrow Legend, with the Rune of Slowness, the Rune of Speed, the Rune of Negation, Rune of Doom, his armor, the Master Rune of Ancient Lore, the Rune of Hearth and Home, and Forged Fire. We're also going to be having 2 cannons here in the back, and I believe that's going to make the mixture. Fantastic stuff. Now, it doesn't look like it's going to be a Kai build, but it looks like we are going to have a Kroxigor push. So we're going to be having some Kroxigors in the front with some Sallies. The Sally Salamanders in today. They're going to be doing some big work, causing that terror, the fire damage, armor piercing, and all the flammable good stuff. We're also going to be having the Skink Priest of Heavens with Urian's Thunderbolt, no doubt. Yes, Urian's Thunderbolt there to take out all units of artillery. If it does fire down there on a single cannon, it can take out a cannon pretty healthily. Skin cohorts in the front with Saurus Warriors dotting in here also with some more skin cohorts without the javelins. And they're going to be dotting through the park. Some more Kroxigors, some more Ancient Sallies with some Chameleon Skinks in the front. We are going to have the Major Priest of Life, the Toilet Chair Lan for the Banishment, Shield of the Old Ones, Earthblood, Cold-Blooded, and the Greater Arcane Conduit with Life Bloom. There's going to be no regrowth here. I'm a little bit surprised. You might as well just go Master in this point and just take the Ruination of Cities as well. But, yeah, interesting. But 2 units of the Pterodons in the sky on either side as well, including the Fork Sentinels, who actually got a bit of a nerf. They got a bit of an increase in cost and price. Well, I'm a new Lizardman player. Nice, awesome. And was one of the new... Yes, I know, Mr. Undead. Yes, you wanted to play in the Shortbeard League. Yes, I did see. Yes, so we'll be getting you in on the next season. So it looks like here in the back, we are going to be having the Rune of Slowness going down. Slowing them down by 40%, 45 and 45. So should we get some guns? I love the look here Look at those golden shields, man. They are just so gorgeous. Fantastic. I love the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Flaming axes, golden shields. You name it, they look good. They look good. So holding back here is going to be the Croxagores. And I'm not too sure why they're holding back with the Croxagores here from Void. But I think he's going to be waiting for the perfect moment. Now they must, because they're monstrous infantry, they have very low model count. They're very easy to get surrounded and get hit multiple times from multiple models. So for example, Norgrimlings have 90 models. So you can have almost 4 to 5 models on each of these single models here from the Croxagores. So what they must do is they must fight inside other infantry, so they're not taking the full blow. But Ancient Salamanders are going to be on the side. We are going to be having the Pterodon Riders firing in as well. Orion's Thunderbolt going here in the pocket. Let's see what we can do here. Orion's Thunderbolt does miss the cannons. Yes, all 3 cannons are going to be alive, but it means you do have to keep wheeling cannons. And we don't have anything to push over here. Now, where is he? So he's going to be over there. Orion's Thunderbolt has some good distance. I believe about 200 meters of distance, if I'm correct. It might even be 250. Pterodon Riders are going to be waiting whilst the rest of the force does push forward. Cannons are still going to be shooting. So 0 kills there. And 0 kills as well. Okay, interesting. Could definitely do with shooting the Slan Mage Priest alive. We can take care of him. Could be pretty nice. Now, the Thunderers are going to be in the trees. We can certainly see some rock drops coming overhead. And they are going to be overboard, so they are going to get moved. I certainly think we're going to see a rock drop here. We are going to see a rock drop. An excellent rock drop indeed. Lots of damage on these Thunderers, and there's no protection for them. We do actually have some Dwarf Warriors in the trees. Rock drops here up against the second Thunderers. They could certainly swoop down. Fear, physical resistance as well. Shield the old ones for that protection. Excellent stuff. Blasting charges here, just going straight into the Source Warriors. Lots of damage there. Look at those getting yeeted downhill. Fantastic stuff. Fighting here up against the Source Warriors. Flying high in the sky, these Pterodons just going to be shooting. Unfortunately, there's not really enough range here to deal with these mass Pterodons. Coming nice and close and very dangerous here is going to be the Slan Mage Priest. Blasting charges are going to hit him, but it's not going to be too much damage. It's actually going to save the Source Warriors from getting smashed. Cannons are going to be fighting as well. Looks like Flash Bomb has gone down to slow down all the entities in the sky, giving them negative speed, but they are just going to be shooting here up against the cannons, getting that free value. There's nothing to shoot back here, unfortunately. I think normally for me, I normally bring at least 3 or 4 units of Thunderers and a couple of units of Rangers just to deal with units in the sky such as Pterodons. Mr. SBQR Hayden, how we doing, buddy? Over here on the right hand side, we have some Dwarf Riders pushing out the Ancient Salamander. The Ancient Sally. Sally the Salamander is now just going to chase off the Thunderers. Also comes in with that Terror as well, so pretty nice in general. Flying high in the sky, we do have the Pterodon Riders. They'll be able to push off these cannon crews. And last entity left is going to be the Master Engineer. Now, the Master Engineer can certainly do some poke here in the sky. He'll be able to kill model after model over time. But 334 armor-piercing weapon strength, or missile strength, I should say, is could be difficult over time. It's like breaking the second cannon. And unfortunately, I think with that second cannon gone, it is going to be a dubskeep. There's not a lot left here you can do, I don't think. Dwarf Warriors are going to be moving way out of the Longbeards are going to be moving way out of the box. They'll get cleaned up here by the Croxagores and the Skink cohorts. Looks like here the Pterodons are going to be cleaning up crew from the cannons, and yeah. Here, unfortunately, I think it is the end, but there's not a lot you can do. Looks like here we're now just going to be singly taking out the Master Engineer. So he's going to be taking out some models. So 8 there. So no, it looks like no models have gone down, but lots of health have gone down. So 20% damage resistance, 8 leadership as well. Just to maintain them in the pocket, make sure they don't take too much damage here. We do need to pressure the Slant though. The Slant's just going to come in and give free mana. We need to kind of get over there and deal with him, kind of. So Flash Bomb has gone down, but unfortunately here, that's not really going to aid too much, I don't think, as they're flying high in the sky. Negative melee defense is not really going to help in this particular scenario. In the trees, though, the Longbeards are going to be fighting here up against the fantastic great weapon Croxagores. That Longbeard took an absolute... Oh my god, this one Longbeard is getting absolutely crumped by that one Croxagore. So I'm not too sure what there's left here to do for the Dowie. I think, unfortunately, it is the end. Healing as well, so Earthblood can just go down on the Fork Sentinels and the Pterodon Riders. Apologies there. There's some more shots here up against the Pterodons. Still lots of ammunition left as well. They can just sit here and poke pretty much. And just get swooping animations here. They're too split up. They can just get swooping animations on the Dwarf Warriors. Saurus Warriors are just waiting. Blasting charges have been utilized. They could come in. They could come in, but there's no necessary need. In the back here, we are going to be losing the Longbeards. Crossgores are taking really no damage. Most of the brunt has gone onto the skin cohorts, actually. We've got the Ancient Sally back. The Ancient Sally's not really doing anything there in the background. Crossgores chasing off the cannon crews. And the Norgrimlings, Ironbreakers are still in the trees. So the bad boys here in the red with their lovely armor. It just looks so goddamn awesome. I love Norgrimlings as well. Big long-haired boys indeed. Ironbreakers in the plentiful. So looks like we have broken the Master Engineer. So unfortunately here, so for newer players, you can't really do this with what Grommudel's doing. You'll see that Grommudel has a lot of forces in the trees. This is what we call forest camping, where unfortunately it is forcing engagement in the trees. Now we do have an attack animations going down, but it looks like some units are going to be in the trees, and it looks like they're trying to have tree cover, tree protection, and trying to enforce all the units to come in the trees where they would get negatives. So we can't really have that. So I'm going to give it a moment and see if things change. If they don't, then I will send a message. Now we do have some units fighting here on the periphery. They're going to be doing some work, and maybe an Earthblood here. Well, I'm not sure what that was. Oh, it's the Rune of Doom going down. Ah, Rune of Doom, perhaps? Oh, maybe not the Rune of Doom. Ah, Rune of Speed. Rune of Speed is going to aid there as well to remove the Croxagores. So it looks like the Master Engineer is broken. We have 1, 2, 3 units in the trees. Make that 4, but the rest is kind of fighting. It's borderline. It's borderline, but this is interesting. But should the old ones here for the Ancient Sally and the Slant. If he goes into the trees, I'm just going to tell him to come out of the trees. So that's going to be my one warning. If I have to send you a message, it's because unfortunately here you're just going to be in the trees too much, and at least half of your force has to be out of the trees. I understand it's painful. He is going to get shot here by chameleons. He's going to get shot by Pterodon Riders, but also it's unfair to force him to engage into the trees. It's not fair. It's not fair. So it is a brutal game, Bob. It is a brutal game, and these matchups are difficult. Where unfortunately, if you don't bring the right builds, you can really get punished. And unfortunately, Two Thunderers, when you have the potential to bring 4 Pterodons, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It is tough. So you can sit on the edge of the trees and you can actually fight in the trees. That's not a problem. You just can't have the majority of your force in the trees. So this is fine. So he's actually on the outside. He's in the open. He can now fight. So this is okay. So looks like it's still very healthy here with Thorgrim though. Void is going to be starting to take the lead slightly, but the rest could aid here. So lots of physical resistance here for Thoric. Shots going into the Longbeards. Ancient Salamanders, though, still have lots of ammunition. 14 there, and we're going to be having 6 here. Blasting charges are going to get moved into the front. Hits are going to go pretty successful here. 95 armor for the Salamander, but still some good blasting charge work there. I like the fact that there's going to be fire left behind. The incendiary blasting charges are very nice here indeed. Big shots ripping through the Longbeards and the Norgrimlings Ironbreakers. Now we are going to be fighting here in the trees. So we have a Urian's Thunderbolt, a Banishment here for the Dwarf Warriors. It's not going to do any damage here up against the Croxagores. That Banishment is just going to damage infantry. Now he is engaging the tree, so in theory he can kite here using these forces. So as long as you're engaged with at least one unit here in melee combat, or you have range firing in as well, that counts and fulfills the attacking rule. So I'm just going to monitor here, so it looks like they've broken. So that actually counts as chasing off. So even if a unit is broken, you can attack it and chase it off. It does fulfill the attacking rule. But once they've shattered, that doesn't count to fill the attacking rule. So you do have to be careful of that, because once they've shattered, you have to be ready to immediately engage. If you don't, and you continue to kite, you're actually breaking what's called the attacking rules. So just like here, we are going to be kiting using the Ancient Salamander. Oh, very nice. Overcasted the Master Rune of Slowness for that negative speed. Also the increased amount of speed negative as well. Going from 45 up to 60% negative speed, as we do chase here with the Longbeards. So some good work here. Should be able to get a couple of axes into the backside of this Ancient Salamander. He is going to get away. Oh, that was so close. It was like here, he is going to get away with that. Fighting in the trees, looks like the Dwarf Warriors are going to go off, but we still have some more Dwarf Warriors here in the back for the Coxagors to fight against. Once that unit has gone off, looks like the Longbeards there. I'm just going to make sure that we are engaging. So we are shooting with one Salamander, but that is a single entity. So I'm going to... So if it happens for more than 30 seconds, I will encourage an engagement. Single entity engagement does not count as engaging, in my opinion. Otherwise, you just count with your two single entity models here. So he is going to engage using the Fork Sentinel. So that fulfills the attacking role. That's happy by me. He's going to be attacking up against the Longbeards. Now, the nice thing about the Fork Sentinels is they actually have 20% physical resistance, which is really nice. Now, he is actually going to be having the Coxagors trying to chase after the Dwarf Warriors. Yes, indeed, Caradoc. I think it was too small numbered. You definitely needed some more Thunderers and some Rangers. Rangers are very good at dealing, or even Quarrelers, they're very good at removing skink cohorts and chameleon skinks for sure. Perfect, so there we go. So we are going to attack with the Fork Sentinels. We have the Shield of the Old Ones, Earthblood as well to assist with them. Banishment is also going to pin them in place. That's a really nice ability there. So you're going to put a unit in that's going to force them to engage, pin them in place whilst you put a nice magical spell on top of them. And that's really going to aid in removing some of the infantry. You're running away with a Slan here. Now, if we get a Rune of Slowness here on top of this Slan, it could be GG's. Now, he has 34 speed. What's going down here? That's the question. Oh, Rune of Speed, 45% speed here. So we'll put them up to 38. And now he's going to force him to engage. So the Slan is going to have to turn and burn. But he is going to get caught here. He's going to get plus 24 melee attack. Is that going to be the Rune of Doom as well? I haven't seen the Rune of Doom all game. I don't think. There we go. There's the Rune of Doom. I heard that clang. You can hear the sound. And normally he leaves an etch mark on the floor. But it doesn't always work on terrain. But they are going to be fighting here. Slan is going to be in. Everything is now going to bombard. Yeah, very nice. We are going to have a shattered units around the pocket. Broken units as well. That is going to be army losses. And an excellent performance here from Void Logs. GG's well played. So, one apiece here in the final, which is quite fun. Looks like here I sent a message. Let me just double check this, guys. Give me, bear with me just for 2 seconds, please. Okie dokie, okie dokie. Oh, we're all good. We're all good. Fantastic. Alright, so we've got 276 here from the Slime Mage Priest, with 230 for the Heavens, with pretty much 0, 13, 205 for the front line here with the Skink Cohorts, 0, 0, 0 for the Saurus Warriors, with 355 here for the Chameleon Skinks, 777, 764, 1002, and 1200 here from the Fork Sentinel Pterodon Riders. 265 with 900 here from the Croxagores, with 2000 and 1330 from the Ancient Salamanders. 402 for Thorok Ironbrow, 550 here for the Master Engineer, 477, 264 from the Dwarf Warriors, with 421 and 335 here for the Longbeards. 86 from the Dwarf Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, 566, 885 from the Norgrimlings and the normal Ironbreakers, with 120 and 110 from the Thunderers. 176 and 274 here from the Cannons. So, game 3, we'll be moving on to the Southern Chaos Wastes. That should be a pretty fun one. I do like Southern Chaos Wastes, indeed. Southern Chaos Wastes. Alright, so let's hop in with you. Yeah, Void Lulz is a good name. How are we doing? That is obviously in Russian. Not too sure who that is there, but yeah, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Yeah, you want that without his infantry, and you can do that in some games. If you've not prepared for certain builds, it can be very painful. Sky Cheese is something that you can certainly bring with Wood Elves. You can bring it with the Lizardmen, Vampirates. You know, there's lots of Sky Forces that can do very well, especially ranged Sky Forces. If you haven't brought enough to deal with them, they can cause you. They can be painful. Yeah, man, yeah, Pterodon Riders are some of the best units you have here for the Lizardmen, for sure, for sure. I could almost justify them in probably 90% of matchups. You could definitely justify bringing them. Do they? I don't know if they officially count as artillery though, Karolok. I don't believe. His name translated to English is like cheesecake. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, that's very interesting. Thank you very much for bringing that up, Karolok. That's good for me to know that it is considered potentially single model artillery. What I'll do is I'll double check that. I'll double check that with the rule makers, and we'll see if that's good. If that's all good, then I'll make sure that that's tickety-boo on the next one. So in general, no, single entities don't account as attacking. That's single entity monsters. That's any sort of single entities, and in general, it's single entities firing. But they are, in theory, and I could see how you could justify this, a single entity artillery. Now that could make sense, and I could justify that. But yeah. Is it legal to stand completely still out of the trees if the enemy kites a lot? So there's a couple of rules for engagement. Oh, looks like there's been a couple of messages. So Wood Elves, Ban, Greenskins, and Bretonia. Okay. So Empire from Chad Thoric. Okay, fantastic. So the only time that you do not have to force an engagement is where you can never catch your opponent. So let's say you've got a caster and a lord on a horse, for example, and you've got all infantry left, and then they've got, say, lots of skirmish cavalry, or they've got lots of horses, and you just can't catch them. You have no way of catching them. Therefore, you don't have to force an engagement. You can form a tight box, and you can weather the storm if you like, or you can try and move back and forward, dodge as many of the shots as you can. Do however you please, but you don't have to engage. However, you can sit on the edge of the trees and wait, but if you have an opportunity to attack something, for example, if you have something that has more speed than something else, then you have to force the engagement. You have to fight if you possibly can. I think High Elves have the ultimate air force, I think. Ultimate Air Force. Wood Elves have the Ultimate Air Force, probably. Probably. I would say. And it has the ultimate Air Force in the way that it also synergizes with their faction really well. I don't believe Air Force in any other faction apart from Lizardmen does their Air Force truly supplement just as well. Don't forget, High Elf Air Force also involves a massive Black Dragon. Also, well, it's just an undead dragon, but an undead Black Dragon, and also you're going to have like Fellbats that have 110 speed. High Elf Air Force is expensive. It is expensive. I'll have to think about that one. Alright, why don't we leave it to the people then? Who has the best Air Force? So we'll say... You. Apologies, looks like we cut out there. Don't know what happened there. So who has Air Force? So we have Britonia. We also said High Elves. Wood Elves. Let's think of another good one. There you go. There's a question for you guys. Who has the best one? That's a good point, Caradoc. Yeah, that's a good point. But vampire cans also have healing as well. I didn't get to ask with that as well. So I guess I put Lizardmen over vampire counts, but yeah, I've thrown a few extras in there. Looks like Void is not ready, so we'll just wait on Void them. I would personally say Wood Elves. Wood Elves also have regrowth as well. They have regrowth, healing, 110 speed kite as well. I don't think Vampire have the best air. If they did, they wouldn't lose to Wood Elves so much. Rebane. I don't think so, anyway. I don't think so. I don't think they're any better than these four. Yeah, I could agree with that. I could agree with that, Caradoc. I still think Wood Elves has a better Air Force. For example, you couldn't catch it and it would just shoot you to death. Also, Lizardmen could be at the top because Tic-Tac-Toe is a beast. Tic-Tac-Toe is actually decent now. He costs 800 as well. Von Carstein, Lord, Terragoose, and Vargeist. Can you beat that as the High Elves? Yes. Yes, I can. I can beat that as the High Elves. Certainly beat that as the Wood Elves, that's for sure. Sisters will do most of the work. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they can be that. You just bring a princess on a dragon, use the breath attacks, shoot using the princess, and then you just bring mass forces, phoenixes, etc. You should be able to win that. I would have thought. I mean, I could be wrong, but I would think you could win it, right? I think it's just a matter of opinion. All right, for the Greeny Boys from the Wood Elves. We are going to be having the Glade Guard Starfire shafts in the front, some more Starfire, some more Glade Guard, and lots of Starfire shafts. A ton of guards with shields, 3 units in the front with the Spellweaver of High. So the Spellweaver here will be having the Opal Amulet, Channeling Staff, Soul Quench, Apotheosis, and Ancient Protections. We also have the double Waystalker in the front with the Arrows of Kurnos as well. We're going to have the Great Stag Knights, very nice. And here, I really sincerely hope you're not going to be using Waystalkers. Why can I never message Void? Okay, I'll have to PM. See if that works. No, it's an invalid chat. I don't know how to PM him. I don't think I can. So under the current rules for banner rules, it is very specific that single entities, whether that is lords, it could be a bloody star dragon if you like, and also, for example, Waystalkers here, do not count as attacking. So if you're just shooting using Waystalkers and you're just shooting even using Soul Quench magic, and single entities do not count as attacking. So I will not allow it in my tournaments. It's a bit cheesy, really. So here in the front, we are going to have some Sigmar Suns, lots of Unbreakable Flagellants here as well. We're going to have some Swordsmen, we're going to have some Archers, some Huntsmen, more Archers, more Huntsmen, Spears in the back, nice, cheap and wide and cheerful. We are going to have a cannon, the Hellblaster Volley Gun, actually, indeed. We're going to be having the Bright Wizard for those Burning Heads, I'm sure, Burning Heads and also Fireball. And I got distracted there. As you can see, the Hellblaster Volley Gun actually got wrecked pretty hard. I think it's going to be going down. Yes, it's gone down to 2 models. We've already lost the Hellblaster Volley. That's pretty painful off the rip. So he is going to be moving forward. So what have we got here? So we've got some Pistoliers. Now the Pistoliers are going to be trying to fire here. So, oh, lovely fireball. Fantastic there. Good counter from the big man himself. Okay. Now shots are going to be piling here into the Spellweaver High. She has 30 armor. Shots are now going to come into the front. Now the issue here, and this is a bit of an issue, is that with him dropping back, that breaks the engagement of the Pistoliers. Now breaking the engagement of the Pistoliers means you're not attacking. Means you are going periods of the game where you are not attacking at all. And now this may not seem much. You may go, oh, logic, but that's like 2 or 3 seconds where you're not attacking. And that's fine, but that's 2 or 3 seconds every other 2 or 3 seconds, which means every minute there's approximately 30 seconds of that minute that you're not attacking, which in my personal opinion is just as bad as not attacking at all. So I think in this stance you need to get forward. If you use artillery, artillery is fine. But you need to get into a position where you can successfully attack consistently. The word needs to be consistent and consistent attacking. If you're not consistently attacking, then you are not fulfilling the attacking rule. That's my personal opinion. So Void here is shooting using the Glade Guard Starfire shafts. He's going to get wrecked here with the Pistoliers is the only problem. It actually might be more advantageous for him to move his force forward. Just staying around with the Pistoliers actually is going to lose him the game because the only counter to the Spellweaver High, I think. Do have Huntsman. We don't have any nets though is the problem. But we have Fault by the Grim. Let's have a look. So Fireball coming down. Is the Fireball going to be able to hit? Fireball hits massively. Soul Quench as well actually hits on the Bright Wizard. Negative 91 leadership. He is going to break, and we will not be seeing him back. So here, Volkmar the Grim will be having the Grand Soulfire, Grand Shield of Faith, the Grand Hammer of Sigmar, Banishment, and the Jade Griffin. So we're going to stabilize. Negative 28. That's just going to be damage sustained. Yeah, 88 damage sustained. Yep. So he's as good as shattered here at that point. Not sure what that shot is. That was a Kobe and a half from somebody. Probably the waste stalker there, you know. Yeah, I think here you have to keep these Pistoliers alive. One unit of Pistoliers has gone off. He is now going to move forward with the Force. Shots are going to get levered here into the Pistoliers as they break and still shoot at the same time. Interesting stuff. Now, this is where you're going to have nothing here to support them. They have to charge animation down, which means they're going to get that bonus in speed. Now they don't connect after a certain period of time. They are going to break out. They're going to get constant speed boosts here from those charges. They are... not sure how fast these bad boys are. There's no way they're 90 speed, Great Stag Knights. That's crazy how fast they are. I did not know they were that fast. Okay, I thought they were like 78 speed. Soul Quench actually hits here up against the Sigma Sun. Shots are being in the front here up against the Unbreakable units. The Flagellants will certainly take the punching here from that. A good friend of mine actually has a really nice Empire build to deal with the Wood Elves. It certainly counts as my build, that's for sure. Yeah, the good old Volkswagen here in the middle, he's going to be just moving through. He'll pretty much single-handedly kill all of the infantry. He's just way too good. And he actually counts as a chariot. So he's one of your chariot models here. Flagellant should do pretty well. They've got added armor piercing due to the changes in Frenzy from that 10% increase. Banishment in the back here up against the anti-large Eternal Guards with shields. Doing some really good work there in the back. Fantastic stuff. Also, we have pushed back the Glade Guard Starfire Shafts. Good armor piercing there. As you can see, the Great Stag Knights are going to push onto the archers. Shots from the anti-large huntsmen are now going to be just pushing into the Great Stag Knights. Nice healing there as well. We could really do with shooting here though up against the Spellweaver High. Now she's going to be at her healing cap, so we do have to be careful. She's at 2,200 HP. How much has she got left here is the question. 1,200 worth of healing. So that's about 2 3/4 apotheosis. Shots coming into the Eternal Guards with shields as well. We see the Waste Stalker is going to be in melee combat. He's going to be fighting, no joke in his stats either. He's going to have 55 melee attack, 45 melee defense, but in comes the Sigma man himself. He's just going to be absolutely removing the Waste Stalker. That Waste Stalker got run over. The Waste Stalker still going to be chasing. Can we get Volkmar in though? Volkmar can keep cycle charging this bad boy, doing some good damage there. He doesn't have amazing stats, 30 melee attack, 20 melee defense, but when he certainly gets the Grand Hammer in, oh my god, he's been terrified as well. Fantastic stuff. And he's broken, and he's certainly going to get moved here. The Waste Stalker's been absolutely destroyed. Down to 1.1. That's just going to be constant hits coming through on him. So 1,100 HP left for him. He's now going to get shots here by the Huntsman. We are going to move in with a Spellweaver High, Opal Amulet, Arcane Conduit. Is she going to get pinned in? I don't think so. I don't think so. In the back notice that we have the Sigma Suns fighting up against the Eternal Guards. Volkmar the Grim should be able to clean up crew here. He should be able to finish it off. We are going to be having Dryads fighting up against Flagellants. We have broken the Waste Stalker. He should come back. Let's have a look. Negative 79, no, he won't be coming back, I don't think. Shots coming in here up against the Swordsman. Glade Guard, Starfire Shaft still online. Glade Guard are getting chased by the Tattersouls. Nice there for the extra 30 models compared to the normal ones. We are going to have Spears up against Eternal Guards and up against the Dryads, who actually count as infantry. They're not large models, but they're certainly going to be fighting here in the middle. Spearmen are going to get wrapped here by branches. These Flagellants have made it out onto the other side. Sigmar has truly blessed them, as we are going to be shooting here into the sky, up against the Spellweaver High, down to 1,300 HP. Healing cap coming closer and closer. It looks like the Huntsmen are going to get pushed off by her, though, so we do have to be careful with that. 90 speed here from the Great Stag Knights. Going to be cleaning up crew in the back. It depends if Volkmar's got the carry. Has Volkmar got the backpack on is the question. It all depends. We have lots of ammunition left, though, is the thing. Volkmar has certainly been wielding a backpack so far. Starfire Shafts are going to be piling into the pocket of Spearmen and Flagellants. We got one with no ammunition, so we got 2 lots of ammunition left. 3 there in the back. So now they're going to be shooting into Volkmar. I just think they're shooting into the pocket, actually. Not too interested in shooting Volkmar the Grim. Lots of armor piercing from the Great Stag Knights. Oh, could be a banishment there if you're not careful. Banishment wasn't quite noticed there. But there is going to be some damage, but the initial movement of the spell will be away from the caster. So being Volkmar is here, the first movement will be away from him. It's not too far, but it will be away, and then it will be random movement. So as you can see there, Void trying to move forward to negate the initial movement, and then only got the back end hindered it. So that's some really good work from him. Really good game knowledge. Looks like here the Wake Stalker is still going to be online. Going to be having 2,300 HP left. We do have the Huntsman back in, so the Huntsman could certainly volley in here up against the Wake Stalker. No, they shattered. That's so unfortunate. That is so unfortunate. Shots here coming into the Spearman. We see the Spearman just going to be staying with Volkmar the Grim. We have the Unbreakable Flagellants. They're going to be moving through, just trying to see if they can deal up against the Eternal Guards. Shots up against the Tattersouls here from the Glade Guards. The Glade Guard here just going to be the normal ones, as they are going to fight here up against the fantastic Great Stag Knights. Great Stag Knights are going to be removing pretty comfortably, but they are going to take some damage over time as well. Where is that Spellweaver is the question. Spearweaver's not dead, right? No, Spearweaver isn't dead. So we have a unit in behind doing some shots here into the Huntsman as well. And why can't I see the spell? Oh, Spellweaver's over here. Oh, no, that's Volkmar. Oh, Spellweaver's right on the edge of the battlefield. Okay. The Spears and the crew are going to be moving over, chasing off against the Eternal Guard, as we are going to be shooting in the back here, using the Glade Guard Starfire shafts. How many models have we got left here? So 1 shot here from each of the models. We have also over here 7 volleys left, and we have 6 here as well. And they can fire whilst moving, so they can fire and... Oh no, sorry, they've got 360, they can't fire whilst moving, but they can certainly shoot and move, shoot and move. So if you get it in the animation, you can shoot, wait for that reload time, move, and then try and stop when that time is ready to shoot again. So you can certainly micro a shoot and move, that's for sure. Great Stag Knights here are going to be going against the anti-large spears. 3 units of spears here fighting up against the Great Stag Knights. Is that an effective trade for the charge bonus there, considering how long he stayed in? I think probably not. There's going to be no nets left here, and we certainly lost the caster early on. Shots have broken here with the Spearmen in the backside, so we're going to be certainly losing those pretty quickly if you're not careful. Could be losing a second unit of spears as well. We do actually have a single Tattersoul left. Let's get it on the hero. Look at him. He's going to be here. He's going to be getting ready. What sort of helmet is that? Not sure what helmet that is, but he's now going to be charging after the Glade Guard. Glade Guard have 2 volleys left, and Volkmar is going to come in. 36 speed for them, so Volkmar should catch. He'll get the charge bonus soon, but the problem is the rest of this is going to be left behind. You need to get Volkmar in to deal with these, unfortunately. Yes, Volkmar is going to turn. Spearmen are prepared, but we do actually have some Flagellants in as well. Good charge there from the Great Stag Knights, getting that value, also breaking the spears. Balance of power now pretty comfortably shifting into the Wood Elf favour. I just don't know if they got enough to deal with the Terror of Volkmar. Snarkle charging from the Great Stag Knight should do it, but it's hard to know. Breaking and removing the Waystalker could be nice from balance of power point of view, but 2 Stag Knights is too much. It's too much. Too much armor piercing, I think. 77 charge bonus, 90 speed. Yeah, it's a tough one, that's for sure. Spearmen fighting up against Eternal Guards. They'll lose pretty quickly and break pretty quickly, I'm sure. Yeah, 4 leadership up against, 69. They know they've comfortably won. Yep, excellent stuff there. We're going to be having the Glade Guard shooting and also chasing off the Spearmen at the same time. We do have some Dryades back in the pocket. And what's going to be going down here? So the Grand Hammer and the melee attack. Look at the charge there. Look at the charge damage. The armor piercing on Volkmar. That's a lot of damage. Now, Volkmar, I'm sure, is going to be having loads of healing left. Yeah, 2,500. Looks like we are going to get an Apotheosis here on the Great Stag Knights. And that's gonna hurt balance of power. That's gonna hurt. Considering when Volkmar's taking damage, your big expensive models are getting killed as well. Pokemon will be fighting up against the Glade Guard Starfire Shafts. They'll pin him in place so that the Grey Stag Knights can recharge. Grand Soulfire can come down for some brilliant damage here. Excellent Grand Soulfire there. Brilliant Grand Soulfire to actually break and terrify here up against the Glade Guard Starfire Shafts. But all of it's going to be dogpiling in now up against Volkmar the Grim, and I think he's going to take too much damage here. He's going to get hit too hard for the amount he can regen. He's going to be down to 2,300 HP. He is unbreakable, but it's about, yeah, big hits coming in. So that's going to be game over, and it is going to be a 2-1 lead here coming in for Mr. VM Void Lols. Yeah, the Pigeon High Mage did pretty well. Pretty well. She's very good for the Wood Elves at the moment. Very good indeed. Oh, bit of lag here towards the end, but that should be able to sort itself out. So let's move through here, and we're going to go to 2. No, oh, wrong one. Sorry. 1 there for Grumby, and 2 there for Mr. Void Lols. So it's like here, a lot of you guys think that the High Elves have the best Air Force. Okay, fair enough. I have certain builds that don't have any Cavalry Caradoc for the Wood Elves, and I can do pretty well with it. Let me just do this quickly. All right, roger that. So, Nirob has joined the chat. Fantastic. Nice to see you there in the Grumbling Guard, my friend. GG's indeed. GG's, fantastic game. So 1,386 here from the Spellweaver High, 1,140 with 1,450 for the Waystalkers, 220, 120, and 220 here for the Eternal Guards, 420, 400, and 422 for the Dryads, with 360, 840, 730, 670, and 122 kills for 813 for the Glade Guard Starfire Shafts. 101 kills, 1,700 for the Great Stag Knights, with 159 kills for 1.4k here for the Great Stag Knights as well. Brilliant Great Stag Knight plays, fantastic stuff. So 2,470 for Volkmar the Grim, 100 kills, with 187 and 120 here for the Archers. 560 and 707 for the Huntsman, with 0 value here for the Hellblaster Volley Gun, with 490, 380 for the Flagellants, and the Tattersouls 785. 315, 300, 210, 110, and 220 here for the Spearmen with Shields, with 188 for the Swordsman, and 600 here for the Sigma Sons. 1,000 damage value for the Bright Wizard, with 230 and 230 here for the Pistoliers. Excellent stuff from both sides. Alright, so I'm going to pass that on to my admins and we'll go from there. So give me just 1 second, guys, and do apologies for the wait. I'll be with you momentarily. Alright, so that's with the team now, so we will move forward. GG's indeed. So actually, my friend, my build my friend brings is oh yes, the next map. Shimmer's Award. Oh, right. Yeah, so he brings 5 units of Flagellants. He brings the Sigma Suns, that's 6 unbreakable units in the front line. He then also brings more swordsmen, cavalry, and also casters to buff those cavalry as well to try and deal with Great Stag Knights. It's a pretty fun build, but it actually works pretty effectively. I do kind of like it. I do kind of like it. Yes, Muckluck. Let's go, my friend. So, yeah, so we were talking about strategies. So, when you're playing best of 1, when you're playing best of 3s, best of 5s, best of 7s, and best of 9s, they're the main things you're going to find here in the competitive scene. Best of 1s is just it's a bit of a saloon gunshot. You could fire a gun in a saloon, you could hit anybody and win anything, I feel like. Best of 3s is where you start to see most competitive gameplay. What was I going to say? I do 5 Flagellants and Sigma Suns, 2 Huntsmen, 2 Lazy Knights, and Empire. Yeah, pretty standard, mate. Yeah, pretty standard. Yeah, so best of 1s is pretty fire in the dark. You just generally you pick an S tier faction, the 4 that I displayed before, which is going to be your Wood Elves, or I say S tier. You can call them A tier. You can kind of call them what you like, really. But you're going to be having your Wood Elves. You're going to be having your Greenskins, Lizardmen, and you're going to be having your Bretonia. You can pick any of those, and then you're pretty much just going to ban 2 and just play with your best and see how it goes. And looks like Mr. Chad Thorgrim did drop. Alright, looks like we're going to be waiting here for Mr. Chad. That's okay, we can talk about this. I'll tell you what, let me ask you this question. There we go. Only real pick is VC, obviously. Next bit. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Nice to see you here. Always nice to see you here, my friend. So yeah, so strategies change as you go through the higher stages. So for example, that we had Dwarfs earlier, which is sort of a mid-tier faction. So you kind of want to be saving as many S and A tier factions as you possibly can. And the reason for that is you're going to want them as first pick. So for example, picking if we saw Beastmen in the first game, and then we had Dowie as the first pick in the second one. That's because Beastmen were gone. You could ban Skaven and High Elves. High Elves, their only good plays are against Dowie and are against Vampire Counts. So they're not too strong there. So using High Elves up against Dowie for a win is a pretty good trade-off. But the options are less. We saw a pick from Lizardmen from Void Lulls. Now he knows he can win, but is that a good trade-off? Yes and no. So he got the win, so it's obviously worth it. If he doesn't get the win, it's terrible because you've now lost the first picking faction that you now can't utilize anymore. You can't use that anymore because you used it in that counter pick. Whilst you could have used Dark Elves for a very similar output for a much lower tier faction that you really can't pick first. So you probably could have got the same effect and actually used what we call a lesser faction. I like to play best of 1 most because I have a very limited roster to play. So here's the thing for you guys. This is something that I get asked often. If you're brand new to the game, you don't have lots and lots of money, but you'd like to get as involved as much as possible with the Total War Warhammer community, what can I do to get in as involved as possible? what can get me the most factions? What's the best way I can do it? Well, firstly, wait for a DLC. Sorry, don't wait for a DLC. Wait for a DLC drop, or like a Warhammer summer sale, that sort of thing. Wait for a summer sale to come in. Wait till it goes to about 75% off. If you really want to save some money, wait till it drops down a bit. And then what I would say is get Game 1 and Game 2. That gives you 8 factions there. That gives you 8 full factions, and for pretty much the same cost as you can get for buying a DLC. Then there are other cheap DLCs out there. For example, Chaos, when it was pretty cheap, you can get like a Chaos faction for like £2 to £3. That gives you a full faction, the full roster as well. So that gives you all the legendary lords, all of the units. You don't have to buy anything else. It gives you the full roster, and it's a pretty strong faction in general. I think it's an A-tier faction. It's very good. It is very good. You can buy other full rosters as well that are pretty cheap. And you can get other free ones. You can get free ones like Bretonnia, and you get all the add-ons as well. So just make sure when you're looking at these factions, what are you getting them, and how are you going to get it? What sort of value are you going to get from these things? Hello, the Kaiser. How you doing, buddy? I wish there was an alternative pick and ban, because I only play a few factions. Yeah, this is where it's difficult. So obviously there is a limitation. That's why I think generally best of 3s to best of 5s are the best, because then those that have fewer factions, there's less limitation. So yeah, there's that as well. How can you get around that? So there is one way you can do it, and there is the option of a no ban system. So what you do is you pick two factions. So let's say for myself I pick Dowie and Greenskins. I don't ban anybody. You now get to pick anyone you like, but you only get to pick one. So let's say they counter me, they go, okay, I will pick Lizardmen. I go, fantastic. So I now have to play Lizardmen with either Dowie or Greenskins. So let's say I don't want to play Greenskins, I'm going to use my Dowie. So it's now Dowie up against Lizardmen. Now that is another alternative way of doing it, and actually gives you more variability to pick what you like. But the problem is there, for example, on the flip side of things, without the bans, you don't get to ban what you don't want to play against. So that is the other way. Yeah, so make sure when you guys are getting the game as well, make sure you're signed up to all of the extra free content you can get as well. So there is lots and lots of free content, so make sure you go onto Steam, download all of the free stuff, grab it all. It's all free, utilize it to the maximum as well. Go onto the other, I can't remember what it's called here. It's called Total War Access. Yeah, so go on to Total War Access. Make sure you've got all of the access free stuff as well. You get all the free units, and you'll get all the free regiment renowns, all those things. Make sure you pack out the roster doing that. If you don't know how to do that, I'll be able to leave some links there for you guys. DM me on the Discord. I'll be able to show you how to get all of those free models, free units, all these sorts of things. And if you ever want any help as to, logically, what can I do? I'd like to get a whole faction. Things like Norska, Tomb Kings, Vampire Pirates, Chaos. These are 4 units already that have the full rosters when you buy them. You get the full roster. You don't have to buy this and then 4 other DLCs to get the whole thing. You can literally just go Chaos in the sale, £3. I've got the whole thing. I've got the whole thing and I can use it. And you'll have it for the entirety of the rest of Total War Warhammer 2, because there's going to be no more additions here until Warhammer 3. So that's a good way of sort of building up your game there, where you're going to get the maximum value from a multiplayer perspective. Beastmen ban VC and Greenskins. Okay, so at this point, I need to be seeing who picked what. So Void has been. Hang on. Okay, that's fine. So Void has been Beastmen. He was also Lizardmen, and he was also. What else? So he's already been an A, and he's already been an A faction with Beastmen and 2 S factions with Lizardmen and Wood Elves. So he's already utilised quite a lot of those elements here in the game. Mr. Chad Thorick. Chad won against Beastmen using Lizardmen. Lost with the Dowie up against the Lizardmen from Void, and then just lost with Empire up against Wood Elves. So now we're going to be having... Okay, so Vampire Counts was the ban. and greenskins. So it looks like we're going to have a vampire pirate. So it's going to be vampire pirates, which I think do very well here, up against the beastmen. Okay. And then the last one will be pick and bans. Yes, so this is true. So Narandon also comes with a nice one. So Bretonnia is also a free faction. It's not very user brand new friendly, but what you can do there is get a free faction. It is difficult to use if you want to use it to its optimal performance. And if any guys want any hands with that, I'm sure I'll be able to be in the Discord here and there to help you with a couple of ideas. And this is a bit of advice for some of the new players as well here in the chat today. This is my advice. If you'd like to learn how to play the game, you'd like to get into competitive, my advice is pick your favorite faction, and it doesn't matter what it is about it that makes it your favorite faction. Yeah, so Cowboy Bob, I was, is this on the question of what I said earlier? So what I was saying earlier, I actually said this earlier, so have you ever tried pick 2, no ban? So yes, so what you do is you pick 2, you don't ban any, your opponent picks 1, and then you have the last 2 to pick from. So I had the example, Dowie and Greenskins as my pick. The other opposition player goes, okay, I'll pick Lizardmen. I say, okay, I don't want to be Greenskins, and I go Dwarfs, and then there's your matchup. So that is another alternative way of doing it. How I tested it, no, I have not. But what I might do is test it this Sunday, Mr. Cowboy Bob. Sunday will be the test. Ah, I see. Yes, so that was an idea that I literally about 2 minutes ago I brought up, actually. But yes, I do like the idea. The idea is fresh, it's new, and I like it. Hello, Mr. Human Boy. How are we doing? We have the Rat Boy Legend in here today. So for those that do not know who this legendary man is, he is one of the awesome content creators here in the community, putting on tournament after awesome tournament, throwing out bugs at you left, right, and center. He finds, if there is a minute bug in this game, he'll find it. You watch. And he'll make it pretty funny. But you need to go check this guy out if you do not know him. So go out, check him out, and type in Human Boy Yes Yes into YouTube and see all of that top quality content. But yes, yeah. So the double pick no ban is certainly a strategy that could be utilized. Try to find 2 balanced factions that would not struggle without bans. Lizardmen and Chaos. I hear that Human Boy is rather short. Well, he's pretty short for a Human Boy, that's for sure. I think you'd struggle to find a good counter against Chaos and Lizardmen. Empire only have 1 matchup. Heresy. Heresy. I smell heresy, Mr. Human Boy. They have many bad matchups. Many. I wouldn't actually even say the Dowie matchup is that bad, to be honest. I think everyone has it like twisted, like, oh, the Dowie matchup is awful. Yeah, it can be. Like, if you go full hard sweaty, it can be like hard, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible. Intensiti's build's like pretty good against it. It's pretty good. Lizardman into Dark Elves is 50-50. Dark Elves into Chaos is probably Dark Elf favored. No, is it even? I don't know, man. You're asking these questions way too late. No, you're fine. You're fine. But yeah, I mean, even then, I think you've probably got 2 50-50 matchups, which is not too bad. But yes, Caradog makes a very, very valuable point. Vampirates versus Chaos. Cheap, cheerful, and wide can do pretty well there, I think, against Vampire Pirates. But yes, they do struggle. So yeah, Vampires would be a good counter. But yep, it does make sense. It does make sense. Or maybe 2 picks, 1 ban. What do you think? 2 picks, 1 ban, Caradog? 2 picks, 1 burn, maybe? Possible. Possible. Alright, so it looks like a lot of you have voted on this. So 24 of you are saying that you prefer best of 5s and best of 3s by the looks. Very interesting. So the only reason here we do best of 1s in the beginning of this tournament is the fact that otherwise it would be super duper long. As you can see, I've already streamed for 3 hours and 20 minutes in the final here, and we're only in game 4. So, yeah. Hello again, Mr. Icepower. So here is the man that we should ask. Icepower, so we have a question for you. How would you feel about... So there is the idea going around that you can have a double pick no ban system. I envy all of you that didn't have to watch that game versus end. Oh, okay. Maybe we won't ask. But let me get your opinion, Ice Power. So we have a dilemma. So double pick, no bans. Your opponent picks, and then you have 2 to pick to counter. So an example would be Dowie greenskins from myself, and then my opponent picks lizardmen. I then go, well, I don't want to play greenskins, so I'll play the Dowie. Now, Carol make a very good counterpoint saying that, for example, try and name 2 factions that don't have a common counter pick in common. And there are a couple, there's probably quite a few actually that cover each other, but I said, well, what about 2 picks, 1 ban, and then you get a counter pick that way? How would you feel about that? How would you feel about that? So, here in the front line for the Beastmen, yeah, it looks like we're going to have some Gore herds with shields in the front. Gore herds with shields in the front, yeah, lots of Ungore herds, fantastic. We're also going to get some more, sorry, so it's got Ungore herds, some more Gore herds. It looks like we're going to have some Razor Gore herds and some Sons of Goros with the magic damage. We're going to be having some range 3 units of the Ungore Raiders. We're going to have some nice Harpies in the sky. Brave Shaman of Wild and Torox the Brass Bull. So we are going to be having the Brave Shaman with the Savage Dominion and the Braid Scream. And we are going to be having Torox the Brass Bull here. It looks like a little bit cheaper than normal. We'll be having the Blood Beast, the Slaughter's Call, and Blood Greed. Oh, this is like an interesting build here. So we are going to be having Count Inoculus, Gunnery Whites in the front. We're going to be having the Zombie Pirate Deckhands here. We are going to be having some Bombers. We are going to have some Deckhand mobs and some Zombie Pirate Polearms. Some Sirens, looks like 2 units. So we have the Son of Goros there to deal with that. So a brilliant pick there. And probably some Scab Scraiths. Now, it is fine to deploy in the back here, but just as long as there is meters to flank here, and you can also flank in behind from this side. So you can flank on both sides. This does make it a little bit disruptive. This is probably one of the reasons why maybe I might not continue this map here, but it'd be interesting to see. Immediate shots to rip there out against the Son of Goros. No, I don't see the need to change it either, but it was just a question. Yeah, just a question for the community. I agree. I like the current ban system we have. I really do. I really do. And yeah, there's lots of faction diversity, and there's lots of games and matchups. It's a pretty healthy diversity at the moment. So the Sons of Goros are going to drop. I don't know if I consider this corner camping. There's lots of room to get around the back here, I think. So it depends if you count Inoculus as an artillery piece or not, really. I guess you can count it as an artillery piece. Okay, I'm gonna let this play out and see how it goes. Not happy about it, but we'll see. So he is going to be attacking up against the Son of Goros. That's the main thing that he's going to have to counter here up against the Sirens. We are going to be having Harpies fighting with the Count Noculus. Summon here in the back with the Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs. Just trying to see if they can clean up against these Harpies. They are going to entrap him though and stop him from doing all that damage. Big charger in the front coming in the Sons of Goros. They'll be clearing up crew here from the summon here. Moving back though is going to be Count Noculus. He's going to be getting into range. He's going to be just stamping on these Harpies. That's amazing. Talks to Brass Ball. He's going to come in the yeet from this guy. Big hits here on top of Count Noculus. He actually doesn't have amazing stats. But it looks like here we are going to be having that ability from nice height in the skies. Look at this. Coming down, ripping through up against Torx the Brass Ball. So we are going to be getting some Ungol Herds in with the Gunner in Whites to help. But unfortunately, it's going to be lots of damage on Taurox. The Lamprey's Revenge with those nice guns on their backs. They're going to be firing and fighting here in the front up against the Son of Goros. And getting that nice regeneration whilst they're fighting. Another summon in the front here, I believe. So there's going to be another summon here of the Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs. Really going to be filtering out this front line. Bombers are now in. They're going to be flying over the top, really shooting up against the Son of Goros. Great weapons. There's like a Brave Scream in the back here to do some damage up against these ranged units. Harpies in. They're going to flutter in, try and get some good damage here. Nice. Scab Scrape here through the line of the Ungol Raiders. Flying high in the sky though, we still have some more Harpies. They can certainly get in and deal some damage here up against the Deckhand mobs. We have Gore Herds, the Ungol Herds as well, fighting the front up against the cheap front line. With the Ungors here fighting up against Sirens. Range as well for the Ungol Raiders. And here in the middle looks like we now are going to be losing the Harpies. Charges coming in for the Sons of Goros. Trying to see if maybe you can hop them onto the Sirens. I don't think there's going to be a choice here. Looks like the Brave Shaman is still going to be pretty healthy. Savage Dominion. Where is the Savage Dominion here in the back? So looks like we have the Cygor that is going to be throwing down. This one doesn't have magic damage, but the ROR does when it is summoned, so it's very good at dealing with Sirens. But can we get this summon here to smash into maybe Noculus? Looks like he's going to be going after the Lamprey's Revenge. 9 models still alive, but big hits are going down on them. They do have 120 armor, I believe, yes. So they are pretty durable in general. Balance of Power is going to be pulling into Void's favor and the Undead. So we did kill a model there, so we're going to be going down to 8. But big shots here going into Knuckles. Knuckles has 75 armor. The Brave Shaman of Wild is in fighting in melee combat. Gun is pointed at him. He takes a big shot to the face, and he is going to break. So we are going to be killing models here from the Lamprey's Revenge. They are actually going to be regenerating faster than they're getting hit here currently by the Harpies. We actually have the Zombie Pirate Decker mobs have pushed into the Ungol Raiders. Some more Ungols in the back with some Harpies hopefully coming back into the fixture. Now, being that we have broken with the Brave Shaman, we might not see another Savage Dominion coming in. It is 19 Winter Magic, so getting that back could be difficult. Scab Scrape here up against the Ungol Raiders. As we can see, the Razor Gore Herd is now going to be fighting up against the fantastic Zombie Deckhand mobs. Deckhand mobs are so nice when you can just summon like 2 of them in a go, and you can just filter out that front line constantly. Another fantastic Scab Scrape up against the Ungol Herds as well. Lots of damage there. Actually going to break them. Balance Power is going to be shifting very heavily here in the back, just like Taurox the Brass Bull. He's going to be taking lots of damage. Yes, it does, but it depends about Count Noculus. As in theory, I'm pretty sure he counts as artillery. Pretty sure, but I'm going to review that. We still have the other game under review as well, so looks like it is going to shatter. I couldn't see the leadership there. It does say artillery. It does say artillery. Yeah, that was my fault, Ice. That was my fault about taking this out. Because the thing is I love this map. I do love this map. I think it's a gorgeous map to look at as well. The only problem is that stupid pool on the right. I hope I can get rid of it. Yeah. Hey, Phoenix, how you doing? Hey, Glenn, how you doing? Well, is it corner camping? It's difficult to say. I mean, we could always change the map. I guess we could always change the map and replay it with new armies. Okay, let me think about this. So, if I think it is a rule break, then we have to replay, and I'm going to change the map, and they can redo their armies. Let me have a think. I think the map is good. The pool is okay, in my opinion. So, I generally think the pool is... It's 50-50 for me. It is 50-50, I think. Yeah, I think we could replace it easily. I think in my ruling, the fact that you've got an obstruction piece that large in your deployment zone makes the map unfair on one side. That's why I mostly don't like the map. In my opinion, right? I'm very open to suggestions here from the community about how you could improve it. Yeah, so I didn't think it was Caradog. I didn't think it was, but I don't think it is. But if the mass say, like, if you guys say that you think it is, then yeah. Yeah, I think I could agree with that, Ice. I think I could agree with that. I think I'm just going to take the map out, just because it is controversial. That's what I try to do, Phoenix. I think that's what I try to do here in the community. I try and keep as many maps and keep it as fresh as possible. And there is not many maps. I think even 20% is being kind. Yeah, I agree that although it was unbalanced, forcing Void to replay would be unfair. Yes, it is true. It is true. The only question I have is, does it count as artillery attacking with a single entity? Otherwise, we have single entities attacking again with no major attack. Alright, just consulting. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to count that as a win, guys. Yeah, I'm going to count that as a win. Based off my previous conversations, my ideas and everything, I believe that it is a win. So I'm going to give it. Going forward, I'm just going to remove Shimmer's Ward. I mean, maybe if I wanted a similar map, I should have just played like Summer Song or something. So yeah, I think I'm just going to remove Shimmer's Ward from the gameplay. I mean, it's a nice map, but you know, it obviously causes controversy. So, oh, let me skip over. How are we doing, Mr. Captain Morgan? How are we doing, my friend? So it was 2 versus 1. Yeah, so it is now a 3-1 victory. I'll have a chat with Grombrindle and see how we can talk. I think it's a win. I think by definition. Noculus does count as an artillery attack, and so therefore it changes a little bit. Using the pool defensively, I don't like it because it's in spawn. No, what I'm saying is like, you know, for a similar map that's like, they're not the same, but they're like pretty similar. They're not flat, like there's more terrain, for example, in Summer Songs. It's just the one that I thought of first rather than anything. But yeah. Yeah, I believe that Gromby couldn't win the match regardless, and I generally think, I don't think that the pool is camping, because you can get round on both sides. There was more than enough room. He wasn't blocking off any angles. I believe the attack was artillery based. Therefore, I agree that it is filling the attacking role, because it is a significant artillery portion attacking. But yeah, I think going forward, I'll just axe this map, I think. Yeah, and by the way, guys, anybody here that goes Ice, Phoenix, Cowboy, any of you, Cowdock, if any of you have any suggestions on this map, have any suggestions on my decision, please feel free to send them in. I will always listen. I'm never going to be perfect either, but that was my interpretation, that for the majority the rules were followed. The previous game also that was under investigation was followed and looked up to, and it was giving us a win. So it will be 2 wins here from Void. So it will be a 3-1 win here for Void. So congratulations to him. He will be the week 1 winner. They have similar names, same time of day. And what? And same colours, etc. Yeah, I just think, I don't know, they were just the first 2 that came into my head, right? But yeah, cheers, Icebound. You take care, buddy, and I'll see you soon, hopefully. But yeah, did they take a break? No, we just had a couple of things to sort out. Morgan, yeah, we just had a couple of things to sort out. I hope so, Cowboy. I hope I'm always reasonable. I always like to see it from both sides. I like to make it as fair as possible. I will have a chat with Grombrindle. I hope he isn't too disappointed. I know sometimes you have to make harsh decisions, or you know what you might consider harsh from your point of view. I'm sure come tomorrow we'll all forget about this, so let's not too worry about it too much. But guys, hopefully you enjoyed this. Thank you for being awesome as always. I love hanging out with you guys. So hopefully we can do it again soon. So Sunday I am going to be doing a multiplayer stream. It will be in the evening. It's going to be a super fun tournament. It's actually going to be a tournament that you've probably never played before, maybe. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. I've never seen it before, so it should be really, really fun. So I hope to see all of you guys there. I'll be leaving the poll up, so do check that out. Get ready to register and be available on Sunday night. No problem, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.